Most of my family.
So I think I'd want like a scrappy little jackass person with me.
You are a scrappy little jackass person.
My grandmother and my aunt and my dad are they are below 5 feet.
I think I'd want like a scrappy.
Oh man, little people.
We were looping. Sorry for this. Okay, we got it now.
Hobbits.
Somebody say something funny.
Funny. God, I wish I was. I do.
So my dad's shoe size is like 8 feet, like size 8.
8 feet long. No, sorry. He's a clown.
No, size 8. So every time we go to the shoe store, I said, go over to the little boy section. That's where you need to buy your shoes.
Just talking all this shit to your dad.
I don't know a lot about it.
It's
like,
ether.
I mean, it's a thing. Yeah, but like.
That's the wrong one. It's the ether at the end.
Good night.
The telepathy went right through to you, Dave.
It did.
In a fiery fucking burn to your skull.
I heard that Andrew Bird song play, Fiery Crash. Have you heard that? In a fiery crash.
I was very honored to accept the invitation from Jerry and everybody to be on the Hive tonight. Thank you all, everyone.
You invited us on your show. Don't lie.
This was totally Quit trying to be so humble. This organized this whole thing.
I
love being on this.
So Dave, your podcast is focused mainly around UFOs and cryptids and all that stuff, correct? Paranormal type stuff.
Yeah, paranormal.
Nice.
Bizarre, crazy shit that happens all the time on a daily basis. But you know what really got me into it was growing up in the 70s, watching shows like In Search of, and That's Incredible. You guys remember that show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they bringing it back.
It's fucking John Davidson, wasn't it?
They're bringing back In Search of.
With Zachary Quinto, right?
Yep.
Oh, really?
I can't wait for that.
That's that little fucking predictable.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll think of him as Siler forever, though. He'll be Siler.
Oh, so yeah, he was great as Siler.
Heroes season 1, best season.
Great, amazing. And then it turned
after that went to shit. So
agree.
But yeah, I mean, ever since I was a kid, I just thought that those shows were great. I mean, crazy shit happened around my family. You know, talking about witches and ghosts and all kinds of different Latino
Where did you grow up?
urban lore. So, well, I was actually born in Oakland, but I grew up here in Northern California.
Okay, so but you grew up in the area.
Stuff.
Sorry.
Go.
No, did you grow up in the area, Dave, where you are now?
I'm over here in Fairfield, Napa area.
Right. So you grew up in that area.
Yep.
Okay. Because I was just over. Right. I was just over, over the Vacaville Mountains from you on Pleasant Valley Road.
Yep. Not that far.
So, no. And I read that they had, like, on Sonoma Creek, I guess it runs through Napa, and every creek, there were villages all dotted along the creeks. Like, there was Native American Indians everywhere. So there's, like, a lot of history in this land.
A lot of history, a lot of crazy shit because of we have the marina in Suisun, and a lot of trading was going on there. So in that area in particular, they say that whole area is haunted. Like from all the prostitutes were killed there, people were massacred, that kind of shit. Indians were Native Americans were massacred there. If you go out there late at night, you'll see specters or spirits and shit like that. But we have Travis Air Force Base out here as well. And probably about 2 years ago, me and my family, we were at a barbecue, and we just looked up into the sky because we started seeing. Actually, my brother-in-law and I were going on a beer run, and we saw in the sky, we saw these little red dots, and we were like, "What the hell is that shit?" And so we stopped in the middle of the road, and people were actually in the middle of the road looking up, and there was these like 5 or 6 little dots. Then more started coming, and it turns out like we don't know what happened. We just know that there was just all these bright little red lights, and then a helicopter came in the middle of that with its lights flashing, and then all of a sudden, I'm not shitting you guys, it just all disappeared at once. It was
holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, the whole neighborhood was out watching this shit. Cars were stopping to watch this.
What month was this?
Bizarre. I want to say it was between April and June of 2015.
Okay.
You know, and I called a few people. One of them was another show that's pretty local. I think it's Paranormal. What the hell is that Fresno show? Anyways, he's part of MUFON. I tried to call him and talk to him about it's just Chinese lanterns or whatever.
Oh my goodness!
What color were the lights?
They were red.
Were they bright, or were they like a plane? Were they like a plane, or were they like a diffused red?
They were red. I mean, they were like a stoplight red, but it wasn't like they were flickering or anything. They were bright and they were red, and they stayed red until everything just vanished.
Wow.
It was bizarre. Never solved it. Never heard anything about it in the news or newspapers or anything.
So when it vanished,
what time was it?
Did it fade out, or did it like just instantly just like
did
turn
it fade
off?
to black?
It did. It did fade to black, but anyway, I won't go there. But
Go back like that way.
Wait, did you have any missing time?
Mm-mm. If I did, the whole neighborhood did. But yeah, no missing time on that one. There was an instance where I did have missing time at CITD, Contact in the Desert. And that's another story. But and to answer
I want to hear that one.
David
Let's hear
Wilcock,
about
were
that.
you?
Yes, he was.
About 7 p.m.
You were with Wilcock, and you have missing time.
All kinds of shenanigans that go on at Joshua Tree.
Not with Wilcock, not with Corey Good. Yeah, I met them, and I was hanging out with Jimmy Church and some friends in the Freighternaut crew, and we were just all chilling out there.
A bunch of really awesome people to hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
No, they were fucking awesome.
I agree.
Love them to death. I mean, Jimmy was cool to hang out. Everyone was cool to hang out with. That's what I mean. Is I think that's a great thing to talk about tonight. Is the people that we perceive that are on these shows, podcasts, radio, whatever. They separate themselves from what they look like. We were talking about it earlier today. Just a little while ago with I won't name his name, but one of the authors of a book that I won't buy. So, anyways,
John Hoaxland. What's his name? Hoagland?
Hoaxland, that's a good one.
The other side of my ass.
Well, have you seen like any other colored lights besides the lights that you've seen? Like, have you seen like I know like?
Okay, wait. Leo is a dog with a bone, so even if the subject goes on, he will still have it in his he has not answered. You have not answered his question yet to his satisfaction.
Oh no, I'd be happy to.
By the way,
let's
Dave,
do that.
First, Dave, I wanted to show you this diagram I found from the government about what that could have been that you saw.
Okay.
If you can look at the live, see it.
Oh, okay.
Is it drones?
It's the government. It's a U.S. Air Force aircraft identification chart.
Like it.
So that must be one of the things you saw.
It's got to be.
Yeah, weather balloon for sure. I think I've seen that a couple times.
Oh, a weather balloon.
Could be swamp gas.
Sorry to everyone who's in chat. I'm not even there yet at the live stream.
Chat. They don't want to.
You're lagging, Dave. What the
They don't
hell?
want to.
Anyway,
You know,
I'm sorry.
I'm just not on it tonight. That's all right.
No, I was asking because, like here in the Ohio Valley, a lot of people have spotted these particular lights, but they're greenish. They have like a greenish hue to them, and they tend to like you'll see them bounce. Like they'll bounce like in one direction. Once they hit one direction, they'll hit like a 90-degree angle, and they'll just go in a complete, just like all of a sudden, they just bounce and just go in a different direction. So I didn't know if you've seen anything other than
just a helicopter. I mean, I'm saying helicopter because we heard the helicopter noise. We heard, you know, we knew it was a helicopter, but it was kind of bizarre because it came in really quick and it just stood there in the middle. I mean, it was just there floating in the middle of everything. You know, it kind of reminded me like people talk about the Phoenix Lights, but everything just vanished and it did it like within seconds. That's what was really bizarre.
Mm.
And the other question that you're asking was, yeah, I've seen other like meteors or, you know, space junk coming into the sky, and that's a green light. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I've seen
it's like
green
flashes.
But have you seen
like
weather balloons? Have you seen
Jack and I
swamp
saw
gas?
one out here off of like, oh, what road was it? Off of Mace. There's a couple of county roads out there that go farther, like towards the channel, towards the river. And it was white. It wasn't green. It was white. And I went out the next couple of days during the day and like walked. There was a field of sunflowers that had been cut, but you know, still had like all the greenery and stuff around it. And then there was some barley or something that hadn't been cut. So so I couldn't like really, like I was looking for pieces because it literally looked like that there were pieces that could have fallen. And but Jack told me that he thought it was farther away. So I don't know. I guess it depends on. I mean, I was driving and he was in the passenger seat, but it just with the air, you know, with Travis here, who the hell knows what's going on? When did I saw lightning over Travis?
Anything. Yeah.
I saw lightning and there was no thunder.
I saw that. I saw that too. I saw
that happened like 6 months ago, didn't it, Dave?
I was going to say a year ago, but you know, it could have
been a year. My timing's bad.
We get. Do you guys get like heat lightning over there? Because we get heat lightning where it'll lightning like crazy with no thunder at all.
No, if the lightning's here, it thunders. I've never ever seen lightning without thunder.
Graham, do you remember like it was a couple of months ago when we had I don't, maybe because you're much further north, but here we had the most intense lightning storm.
Yeah, it was during.
There was no lightning. Yeah, it was no lightning at all. Or it was no thunder. There was no thunder. There was no sound associated with this lightning. It's very weird.
We didn't have that, but it was during a snowstorm. There was thunder this year, or lightning and thunder. But yeah, during the summertime, we'll get it. It's called heat lightning, where like the sky just starts flashing and there's lightning everywhere, but there's absolutely no thunder at all. It happens.
That's bizarre.
That's crazy. I've never seen that.
Nope, it's a thing.
Have you, Dave?
Yeah, it's common here actually.
I mean,
thunder only happens when it's raining.
Just recently. Like,
oh, okay, I get it.
Players only win when they
when they're playing. When they play. There goes Grim to smoke weed.
Well, these green orbs.
Will you answer me on chat, please, Dave?
Yes. These green orbs have been associated with.
No. It's what I think.
Faithful.
No.
Spirits.
You are a playful spirit, Leo.
No, I'm saying like the green orbs that people sight, like in the woods or in the sky and stuff, have been associated.
I think it's actually like methane gas coming up from the earth.
Could be. It could be a lot of people who are really, really high as well.
No, there's been people. I mean, there's accounts of people seeing stuff for so long. I don't doubt that there's stuff out there, but I think there is logical explanation for a lot of it.
Everyone's
Well,
got
this
their own
area
idea.
is a has a lot of caverns and caves and everything that's connected to the Mammoth Cave system.
Dude, Mammoth Cave's awesome. We've discussed this before, Leo. But yeah, dude, that whole southern Indiana.
Oh my god!
It really reminds me of your mom, Grim.
Oh, dude, gaping.
Yeah.
But she's a lovely
There's-
woman.
Wait, there's a story behind it and stuff, but
Well,
it's on the side of a cliff on the Mississippi River in lower Louisiana.
There's a lot of.
Interesting.
There's
keep saying Louisiana. I'm sorry. I mean Illinois.
There's Thunderbird reports that still go on around here. There was that one report in the 70s where that kid got it was all anecdotal, but he got picked up by a bird. Like they watched this little kid get swooped up by one.
They had
That
ones
was in,
that came at their car too, at their car windshield. And
yeah, dude, I believe it. There are some huge birds just around my house. Like I live on a kind of a river valley. Dude, so many birds.
No one looks up anymore. I mean, everyone's like
I look up.
looking
They're
at
looking
their
at their
fucking
I
phone.
look up.
That's what they're
When
doing.
they're walking around. Like I just seen it today. Like I was driving downtown and I seen everyone walking downtown and everyone was looking down at their phone.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
It's
and when we say no one looks up, we're not referring to the people on this panel, Suzanne and Jerry. You guys
We know.
offensive.
I mean, that's painting with such a broad brush. A lot of people look up.
You think?
I really do, but I think a lot of people look up and they just,
Don't know what
they
they're looking at?
we'll probably be moving over there.
Now, unless you enjoy it, now that's different. Like if you enjoy your
do.
job,
Yeah, actually, I can't talk to anyone who I work with about, Bigfoot or, Mothman or,
That's very true.
ET. Yeah,
no, you can. They'll just
No, I
laugh.
don't.
They'll just laugh at you.
that's why I don't. So,
Right.
but no, I think what we do is pretty amazing, and especially for people who want to learn more about the craziness that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
what is crazy? It's all happening for sure.
It was all happening. It definitely is.
And nothing's
We're
happening.
definitely
All
we
at
are
the same time.
Nothing.
in the mix of a major paradigm shift for sure.
Maybe.
In all aspects.
You just think we are.
Or yeah, we could just be getting tricked.
My thoughts. Yes, my thoughts think I am. Yes.
What
Well,
do you
if
think is going on?
Doesn't mean
So
you're wrong.
here's the big
I'm not saying you're
question.
wrong. That's all.
Well, just
Well,
Are
Sure.
we does our reality just change for ourselves?
I have to go beat somebody. I'll be back.
Don't
Or
think so.
does it
Well, I think we are. Honestly, I think we are. Well, I mean, we're in a paradigm shift. As far as like on the financial side, on the government side, on pretty much just in general, like on the humanity side, like we're in a paradigm shift where people are starting to become more aware of particular types of corruption within, whether it's their local governments, whether it's the federal governments or world governments or whatever. People are starting to wake up to this. At the same time, we're in this revolution of cryptocurrency that's coming up, where it's starting to make the bankers really fucking nervous when they start referring to cryptocurrency as dog shit, whatever Warren Buffett or whatever he said, whatever he mentioned about cryptocurrency.
What's his face said it was a fraud?
I think
Jamie Dimon.
we are in a position, we are in a state of mind where people are getting tired of living check to check, because when you think of like majority of people out there, they live check to check, so they're one check away from being fucking homeless, and that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's a really big fucking problem, because you have this hyperinflation in our society, and you have the top that constantly just take more and more and more and more because they have to maintain their profit margins, right? So you have cryptocurrency that kind of eliminates that middleman, so you can start transferring funds from here to there, and you no longer need banking systems. You don't get dinged like all these fees all the way down, nickel and dime all the way down, back and forth.
Allegedly.
No,
Some of us might
there
like
is no
getting nickel and dime.
It is.
No, I
it is.
believe it.
It is.
I believe it. I actually put something out there today on my Twitter feed, well, to be on the Strange feed at Strange Days 2015, about JP Morgan taking more notice about the cryptocurrency boom or.
Oh, yeah, they got to buy in.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, remember when he originally came out, disdained the concept of cryptocurrencies, and now he's getting involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're talking about Jamie Dimon?
yeah,
or Warren Buffett?
JP Morgan. I guess that's I never heard.
JP Morgan.
That's Jamie Dimon.
Yes.
Okay. Jamie Dimon. Okay.
I like
Warren Buffett.
Have you heard Big
I
Square?
I hadn't heard Warren Buffett say anything about it.
Warren Buffett won't get involved. It's technology.
He's more like property and real estate and stuff, right? I mean,
yeah,
I know
he doesn't.
Well, he has a ton of bond. He has a ton of bank bonds, so of course he's going to say shit like that.
He does not invest in technology companies.
Warren Buffett is
his largest holding. I think
he's
Coca-Cola.
TV and shit, right?
He does everything that's not tech. Advertising, newspapers.
Well, I mean, TV's tech.
I think it's more like
I'm talking like web company tech,
railways, and
feeds back up.
Companies that really you can't sell, other than the IP. He won't buy. If he won't buy IP, is that a good way to put it? An IP company,
real estate.
Sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
He's got a huge real estate. He's got a huge real estate holding.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're going to see what happens. I mean, we had no choice.
I know.
That's for sure.
In my area here, Berkshire Hathaway, which is his company, owns almost every house that's been foreclosed on for miles.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's not good.
I mean, what the hell are they going to do with all that?
They rent them out.
The rental market must be huge.
It's not, but people can't buy a house.
No, I know. Well, except okay, wait. There is total disinformation going on about what's going on in the housing market as to what is really going on in the housing market.
It's collapsing or already collapsed.
No, it is not.
Well,
it is flourishing.
No,
it is flourishing.
It's because they're issuing these mortgages that basically state that you no longer have to have a job or prove that you have income coming in to buy a house.
They stopped that the last time in like 2008.
They did not stop
this is
anything.
It's coming up again.
They did not.
Yes, this is new. This is they are just now reinstating
because they've run out of derivatives to sell. They're doing the whole thing all over again.
No, they cannot make the high standards of the creditors they borrow from, so they have to go subprime.
Yeah, but they can still do derivative subprime.
Yeah, but see that's what's going to happen.
Two different things.
We're going to have another housing bubble coming up, right?
Right.
So we're going to have another housing collapse. Yes.
But what I'm saying is they are saying the housing market is flat, and it is not flat, which is going to create the bubble. Because when the media says the housing market sucks, prices are low, blah, blah, people go out to buy a house. They think, oh my God, now I got to buy a house. The hype is up. So they buy at the top. And then it crashes.
Okay.
Just like it did.
I got to go buy a house. I'll talk to you guys later.
Just go buy a house. The media says.
Go talk to China. They own it.
Anderson Cooper's eyes told me to go. And then the Uber app, a demon came out and told me to go buy a house.
Nice.
Well, see, it doesn't matter. Like it's a vicious cycle, right? So their philosophy is okay. So if we issue these trash mortgages back out into the economy, and people buy these houses that we already own, that we've already recycled over and over again. And then once the housing market crashes again, they're going to get another bailout. So the bankers get bailed out again, our expense, right? And then the bankers keep the properties. They keep the properties and they release them to us again, right? So they essentially don't lose anything. Like they just keep repumping these same properties out.
Well, how do you think they get to be so rich?
Well, that's exactly my point.
But they're actually taking the risk by loaning the money.
It's not really a risk.
I mean, it's a game of risk.
It's not really a risk, though. I mean, because they already own the property.
Well, if you paid off your house like you're supposed to, instead of, using it as a bank like a lot of people did because they were forced to, then you'd still have that house and you would have had to pay it off and all that.
Debt.
You're also going to take into consideration like the people that own land, the people that own houses who have fallen behind on their property taxes. They seize those properties too, and they sell those properties. And then what do you think happens to those properties? They sell them to banks. And banks,
or whoever,
they issue mortgages on those properties. So the people, like the point is like you never really own anything. Because if you stop paying the tax on it, they fucking come and take it. Like,
They'll
it doesn't
take it from
matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't own anything.
That's some bullish.
And if your local, if your jurisdiction raises the property tax, you can afford that, then, you're basically pushed to that point where either you have to sell below market value, depending on where the market is, or you just have to foreclose. Like you have to give it up. And then when you give it up to the fucking state.
Man. Hey, Dave, did I hear you casually mention you had missing time at Contact in the Desert?
Yeah, I did.
Segue, Grim.
Yeah, segue out of this. The shit's getting negative.
Yeah, politics and all this stuff's way too heavy. Let's lighten it up.
What are you guys talking about? I missed it.
Well, nothing. We're moving on.
The housing market. We're going from the housing market to missing time.
Yeah, I tuned out. I was here. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's too
much.
Okay, so if you want to qualify it as missing time, this is what happened. So it was me and Les. You remember Les, Jerry, right? And we were at Contact in the Desert, and it was like after this big old barbecue party thing that we did. It was probably like 1:30 in the morning or something like that. And a couple of guys were that we had met. We were talking at the party. They wanted a ride home, or they're like, "Can we get a ride home?" And it's only down the street. So
I'll give you a ride, little girl.
We gave them a ride home, and where they were staying, and we were sitting outside the car for like, we thought maybe 20 half hour at the most, 35 minutes at the most.
Mm-hmm.
We end up going back to where we were staying at the Fader house. I'm not kidding. It was like almost 4:30 in the morning.
Jesus. So you lost like 3 hours?
I am not kidding you, man. And these guys
that's
that we were talking to.
Lost time. That's drunk time.
I would think
who was with you? It was
No, I'm kidding.
It was me and Les and these two guys that we met there at the Contact in the Desert, who were claiming to be experiencers and contactees.
But man,
you've never seen them on the Twitter chats or anything.
No, before that, nothing.
After,
but I mean, after that, we did stay in touch, but it was just bizarre because that night, I mean, normally, yeah, I know what drunk time is.
No, I was totally kidding.
No, I wasn't doing that.
I know.
I wanted to know if anyone I knew was in there.
Hey, if I black out, I black out. I know what I know what's up.
Right.
But no, we were almost sober when we got back.
That's
and when
crazy.
We looked, it was like freaking 4:30 in the morning. How did that happen? Jeez. We were just talking outside the car. It was bizarre. But yeah, I mean, strange shit happens.
Did your butt hurt the next day?
Oh,
can't tell you.
It's a secret.
You couldn't tell because it was still sore from the night before.
It's like the camping joke, You wake up and that's no, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, that's a
It was
bad
still sore
sign. You
from the
might have
night
been
before,
probed,
Dave, right?
It totally was.
So you couldn't gauge how
Wouldn't
much
you like to know, Jerry?
how much more gaped this week.
No, it was really weird. A lot of weird shit happened that weekend. I mean, there was people who were claiming that they were pushed downstairs and nobody was there. It was weird.
I
There
think
was, like-
that it draws a lot of energy. You know, obviously the people that go are God, this moth will not get off my hand. Are very energetic.
I hate moss, man.
Oh, I know, Mothman.
And
Mothman.
gnats. I've been seeing a lot of that shit lately. I don't know why.
Because it's springtime and they're all
'Cause you're
waking up.
looking for
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
No, I've been seeing them
Exactly.
for like a
Oh,
year.
you're in California.
It could be
They're-
California.
It might be California. Those liberal fucking moths.
Goddamn. But,
Antifa.
and yeah, weird shit happens there. So if you guys ever go there, just expect it. But
I don't think I'll ever get back to the desert.
I'm not having a Joshua Tree anymore. I think.
I have enough weird shit happen to me without going around and, you know, like that much energy for weird shit.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty effed up. That's for sure.
That's strange.
Oh, this is one of those times where we should enter a segment.
Segment.
What do you guys? You guys want to do some tech?
Wait,
I've actually been waiting to talk to Jerry about, his show in Noxmente.
talk
Because-
Go bust it out. Talk it.
talk it out.
Let's talk about it.
I want you to tell me
Dave,
about it.
What do you,
How
what would
did
you like to know?
that happen? And by the way, everyone, I want to give a shout out to Jerry because he's been helping me so much with doing the video portion of Beyond the Strange. And, I still haven't got to the live streaming yet, for reasons, but just getting it on YouTube is an accomplishment for me. And again, I just want to say thank you to Jerry for all the help he's really been giving me. So thank you very much, bro.
Dave.
Keep paying that check.
Dave. Jerry's our slave.
I'm kidding.
He's
He's our
does, man.
slave.
He's-
Yeah,
He works his ass off. Yeah, man.
He loves it.
yeah.
How
Jerry's
did that all
awesome.
evolve, dude? How did
Because
how
I'm service to others.
He is.
Seriously.
He totally is.
I am not. That's bullshit. Service
You
to
are
self.
too. Shut up.
I do everything for my own personal
No, you
enjoyment. Yes. I do. Anyway, service to self, service to others is a false dichotomy, people. Forget it.
No, well,
Anyway,
karma.
someone who doesn't believe in karma. This is turning into a hive. I apologize. So, Dave,
That's what it's
It's all
supposed
right.
to be.
it wasn't my
Yeah.
idea. I've been wanting to do a podcast, but I didn't want to do it alone because I'm a weak male, beta male, whatever they call it. I don't like to be, that dude. So,
Heckle? I'm just
Huh?
kidding.
heckle? No, I don't mind that.
No, he wants to be told what to do.
No,
He
I
just wants
just,
to do shit.
I need structure in my life. How's that?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Anyway, I'd seen this around in, I think, Chanters chats, CW Chanters live chats, or some other live chats we frequented. And we got talking, and she's like, I've got a great idea for a podcast. And I'm like, I want to do a podcast. And she said, it's about dreams. And I thought, she was talking about dream research and whatnot. And I went out and started, like, building a fucking website to store all this information. And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay. And we just started talking more, and it just came out of that. So we scheduled our first show and got some friends to be our first guests. And it is where it is. I think we're up to 42 episodes. Ooh.
Got quite a bit. Yeah, you've got a lot of episodes going.
Yeah, and we're booked up through most of August right now. And I still haven't booked you yet. And once
Okay.
you mention my show on your show, you're obligated to come on my show.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. No, it's just one of our rules.
That's how it goes. Podcasting rules.
No, it's just my rule. Anyway, that's the story. Nish and I have never
It's
met.
an awesome show.
We've
Yeah,
refined.
I've caught some of it. It is awesome.
Thank you. We try to make it enjoyable and entertaining, and as anyone who's seen it recently, we've changed our format from the strict hour and a half with a post show, which I failed to edit because no one was, So I got a bunch of those still left. So we just kind of lengthened the show and made it in kind of a 2-part thing and let it flow more organically into the second half, which we still live stream. And that way we're done with the show's over. We're done with that, you know. So I like it, the format. We're not going to do video because none of us are comfortable doing video. And it's about dreams, and you need visualization in your head. You don't need us to generate your imagery.
I like that about it.
There it is. That's the whole thing. That's my spiel.
Who's been the more standout guest that you've had?
In terms of what? I can sort that list in many ways.
Well, okay. Well,
Potter Thomas.
She was fantastic.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. You got to mute her if you don't want her to interrupt.
No, not at all.
Just give me the word. Give me the word, Dave. I got the power.
Grim cannot wait. I'll get you, Grim. No, I'm kidding.
I never shut you down, Suzanne.
Just teasing.
You just want to choke her out.
In all honesty, yes.
And I know you like it. So anyway, yeah, Bosley. I'd say Walter Bosley stood out. I really feel a deep connection with Walter Bosley, and I cannot tell you why. It's one of those things, you know, like when he and I spoke for the first time, it was like electric, like, oh my God. And it wasn't a fanboy electricity. It was, you know, something else.
Synchro?
Nuts. No, it's just more like.
It was more than synchro.
I don't want to even say this out loud because it sounds stupid, but you know, he could be part of my soul family.
Okay.
Yeah,
my soul group.
definitely.
If that shit's true, I would say that's what's going on there. Also, Rock Castaldo had the same kind of that energetic feel to it. So those stood out to me on an energy-wise level.
I feel like that with Raw.
Yeah. Gordon White was a great episode because I love talking to that guy. And it stands out because it has, I think, close to 2,000 views right now, which is 10 times what we got on our other views.
Wow, that is so awesome.
Yeah, and then he mentioned it in his blog, and we got like an extra 100 subscribers since then. I've tried to get Greg Bishop on my show. I've emailed him a few times. I haven't heard back.
That'd be a good
I'm answering the chat. I'm sorry, that was totally bogus.
Yeah, I saw that.
Someone asked about Greg Bishop. I have invites out to a lot of people. We've been turned down by a couple people. Neil Kramer turned us down. And Caitlin Doty. She's like a famous mortician and death rights person. She's interesting. Yeah, she's interesting. Right now, I'm trying to work up an authors month. I'm going to do a sci-fi author series and pull some people in like Rudy Rucker. I've already talked to Are You Serious? And I've emailed Bill Gibson. So I'm going to see if I can get some of these.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I want to see if I can get some of these older sci-fi writers on tape before they die.
Oh, yeah.
Well, don't use that approach.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah,
that's my approach. I'm not going to say that. Hey, before you die, please come on my show.
Dave, do me a favor.
What's up, bud? Yeah.
Close your Discord because I keep hearing the notifications.
You sure it's his, not mine? I can't tell who's.
It's not mine. I don't have my noise on.
I blame John Brisson for it.
You were muted, Jerry, when it was coming through. I was trying to get to the bottom.
I did have it open.
Okay, I'm gonna do a test.
He's turning into Jerry too.
What?
Dude, it was just a lot of dings. I'm just saying.
I'm a rookie. Give me a break.
Just saying, guys. Hey, cut it out.
Just get some goddamn headphones.
He's fiending.
It's closed, man. It's closed.
It's closed.
Sorry. Oh, that's awesome, dude. I'm really a big fan of interpretations and of dreams and whatnot. But
the one thing we do not do.
But I'm just saying that if it goes into that direction, I think that's pretty awesome.
It never will, and that's not something we're interested in. We are.
Yeah, because you don't want to assume what somebody's dreams are.
Do you know Cliff High is? You know Cliff High, right? You know Cliff High's got his websites.
No, I don't.
You don't know? Okay, so Cliff High is this dude who writes software, and he does this. He's come up with this system called predictive linguistics, which, however it works, it scans the internet for trends in language and uses that to predict the future. It's pretty much a broad statement of what it is. Okay, so I'm sure it's way more than that and more complicated. We are on a similar mission, if you will, in that we are trying to find similarities between people's subconscious dreams, or if there's looking for patterns in there to see if we can predict the future. So in a way, it's a divination tool. What we're doing, and it's also entertaining. I mean, it's multifaceted, but that's one of the major things we're working on.
Okay. Pretty dope.
Yeah, you put on a good show, Jer. Definitely.
Thank you, sir. So do you.
Entertaining. I wish it was. Oh, thanks. I wish it was in podcast format, though.
I'm working on that. I've got the website built. It's at noxmente.word, whatever. I'll put it out when I get it out. But you can subscribe to the YouTube feed on Podcast Addict, I think. So when I use, you can just
really?
And it will play. It'll jump. At least it's a list of links. It's not so much like.
Gotcha.
It doesn't like an RSS. It doesn't strip out. It is an RSS feed, but it doesn't strip out the video.
Gotcha.
But I'm working on that. It's going to happen soon. Yeah, I didn't want to invest the time and energy into it if the show wasn't going to continue.
Right.
You know, if it was like 20 episodes, this sucks. But also, I wanted to say you guys have a great show, and every time I listen to the newest episode of Cruising Mistake,
awesome.
I'm reminded of my own lack of production values.
No, show's great.
I'm not kidding. It's like I have to strive to this level next time.
God, dude, I put zero effort into it, so you could totally.
It's because you're the master.
I've edited during chats within like half hour, like after the show's up.
Well, you know, I make my moon videos while we talk.
Yes, exactly.
Half the time, so.
Yeah.
Those are cool too, by the way, Jerry.
Thank you.
Dude, you guys gotta listen to Felix playing James.
Oh
man.
my gosh, that sounds hilarious.
I died.
How long did you guys do that for?
With special guest imposter.
It was like 20 minutes, and I kept calling him James.
God.
It was perfect. He was using just James lingo, just going on. So I've been putting up a lot of drywall lately, so
I don't know anything about that.
He's going on, and he's like, and I'm I talk about the electric universe theory, so now I'm thinking of maybe this new drywall universe theory, and he just starts going like, dude, it was just so good. I was
that's awesome. When are you putting that out?
It's out. It went out last night.
Oh, it's out. Oh, geez.
That's cool. You guys don't do video when you guys do the podcast? It's just all audio?
No. Yeah, just do audio. I mean, but I like chatting with our guests in video. Like just using the Zoom, because I feel like it's a lot easier to, even though it's just camera, it still feels semi face to face and feels easier to talk. I don't know. It's just,
I like this format. I really, really like this format, and I'm really glad that you guys do this, and that you've kind of
and we forced you to do it too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
No, not at all. Not.
It's all about just building community, man. Building community and building the tribe and getting together with people, and it's just a great thing.
Because apparently people just want to listen to other people bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, but
about
the best
stuff
part,
they're interested in.
Yes, but we'll accept anybody. That's what we always say on our show. It's like you want to hang out.
Here, even.
Yeah, exactly. Leo was a listener. Now he hangs out all the time. It's how it goes.
He's gonna be on fucking THC pretty soon. Watch.
Leonidas?
Talking about cryptos?
Probably.
No, I don't know. They're still talking about ghosts.
Talking about overthrowing the ghost.
His crazy spirit connections and how he's like Whoopi Goldberg from Ghost.
Oh man, I hate that. God.
Where are you at, Leo?
Take this message to my dead brother, or whatever.
I'm just trying to. I'm trying not to derail into like the deep
we won't let
rabbit holes.
Oh, don't you get butthurt because I changed the subject on you?
No.
And I'm gonna keep fucking with you and mentioning it, so it's gonna be harsh.
Okay.
Just beware.
It's gonna be.
It's just easy for me to to take
Spiral
over
into-
and start bringing everyone down that fucking rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a rabbit hole to this
You
group,
get
though.
very
That's,
fixated on things.
And I've been doing it for 3 years. I've been falling down
Yeah,
rabbit holes.
it's hard,
what you're
man,
saying.
because it's like you get
That's what she
passionate
said.
about it because it's fucked up.
But I think it's good because too many of us we're like, oh yeah, I did want to ask that question. I really wanted to
Oh,
know
yeah,
that,
if
but
you
yeah,
have
I'm just
John-
gonna go on to the next thing.
If you have John Brisson on, you're gonna go down really fucking deep down into the rabbit hole.
Yeah, John can get dark. He goes down there.
but I like his dark holes. They're fun.
John,
Nice dark hole.
Bet you do.
John
No,
is
I mean, he's
wonderful.
got some really interesting shit he's talking
I
about.
love John.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh, I mentioned
He's
him.
a-
He's a pioneer.
Did we mention him enough?
John. I think he's on episode 44 of Cruising with Steak. You check it out.
He was my last guest.
God, how many
Knoxman.
episodes are you guys up to?
I
never
think we just
count.
He's beaten
47.
me.
Yeah, I know,
He's
man.
beaten
You
me by
guys-
like
You
5.
never listened,
Wow.
Suzanne.
You guys are catching up to me quick. I've been doing it for almost 3 years.
But you don't do it every week religiously.
We've been on a good schedule. The past,
Chanter just went live.
the past
He went
five,
live a little while ago.
Okay.
past 5
Weigh out
Fridays
the
in a row,
pluses
we
and
released
minuses,
an
pros and
episode.
cons. And how about her life at
For not
school?
wanting to
Oh my
go live when we were.
traitor. I'm kidding. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
so-
I'm totally
uh,
kidding.
You guys have slowed down
I
on, like
think
a lot of the shit shows, though.
I'm
It's
not-
hard to organize a show, it seems.
Yeah. I
Those
know
are some of the
everybody's
best
doing
shows,
so
man.
many things.
Well, I think more so what it is that our group of people, we want to have a conversation for the most part, most of the time. We don't want to
Right.
bounce around and talk about someone's bullshit sports problems or whatever.
Sports problems?
Whatever. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think that's what it is. I'd rather have a conversation than listen to a bunch of goof offs for 2 hours.
Oh, dude, I love the goof off nights every now and then.
Right, exactly. Now and then. It's like a blow off steam thing.
Yes.
So I think it's more, we like having more organization in our conversation. Even
Mhm.
when we're not streaming, we have
Even when they're not
organized
organized.
conversations.
So, Dave, like, when you talk to people about like the paranormal, what's the craziest story you've heard someone
Ooh.
tell you? It just freaked you out, like just something that someone told you, and it brought chills to you.
Dogman.
Dogman always does. I would have to say
Fuck, man.
it would have to be J.C. Johnson, who just recently passed away.
R.I.P.
Awesome, major cryptozoologist, speaker and lecturer and researcher, and just a guy that goes out there and does everything he says. He was talking about the story about wares,
Boyd?
werewolves. Yeah, Jeffrey Boyd, and and he was talking about a story about a guy who went up on this guy's property, and he heard a knock at the door, and he heard his buddy talking to him, from the other side of the door, and he's like, he's like, "Hey man, you gotta let me in, this and that, but don't be startled." So the guy's like, "Okay," and when he lets him in, he sees this big giant skinwalker. It's pretty much a werewolf, and he's like, "Look, man, I'm in trouble. I can't change back. Just let me stay on your property for a while. I'll take care of it for you. I'll chase off all the people who want to come on there and don't belong there, and just let me have a couple chickens and livestock."
Wouldn't you be like, bitch, grant me 3 wishes?
Straight up. But it's like, it was really that story got me when they started talking about how the shapeshifters aren't just regular people. I mean, they're organized. They are in the law enforcement department. They are in the politicians department, because being a shapeshifter requires you to do things that you don't want to do. And usually it involves taking sacrifices, especially to those who you care about the most.
So when you talk,
Go ahead.
when you talk about shapeshifters, like, is this something like, is this a curse, like, derived? Like, is this something
Is
that
it a
that's-
bloodline?
or
Well,
like
no,
a bloodline?
no.
Is this something that gets passed on, or is it just something
This is totally your own free will. You want to do this, but you're gonna have a sacrifice. That's the consequence.
Where do I
And
sign
yes.
up?
the thing is, is you do this long enough, or you don't do it the wrong way, the right way. You do it the wrong way. You stay the way you change into, and it was just an amazing conversation with JC, and it did made me feel just like, wow, there's this shit. I'm not saying it is real. I'm not saying it's not real.
I was laughing at Graham.
But what I'm saying is, if it is real, that these are people who are in places of power and that are organized and are into this dark realm, if you will.
What makes it a dark realm?
That's what kind of freaked me out.
What makes it a dark realm, though?
You would consider this dark magic?
Dark magic, yeah. And
what is dark magic?
Dark magic is using it for your own benefit, but not in such a good way. I mean, first of all
magic is done for your own benefit, though.
But
There's no other type of magic.
Let's say you have to sacrifice a family member to gain what you want. That's pretty dark, wouldn't you say?
I would question the ritual, because that's not a real strong energy right now.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you had to, if that's what you needed to do in order to get what you wanted, you wouldn't call that dark?
Yes, I would. Yeah, I would. I would. That is dark, but I mean, he could probably do other things to achieve that goal.
What would be the point into shapeshifting into a werewolf? Like, what would be the end result for someone whose intent is to perform these type of acts to transmute themselves into these creatures? Like, what's like, that's where I get
what everybody else wants.
Immortality.
Yeah.
Okay, but immortality. But why is that always linked to like werewolves or something else? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why does it always result to that type of?
Why does a person snort cocaine? Why does a person take heroin?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It's a hell of a drug.
What do you mean?
But what I'm saying is, like, is this process only result in the werewolf type?
I can't answer all those questions.
That's why you said I get to pick what I wanted. I wanted like a 18-inch cock.
Yeah. What if I want to be a unicorn? You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you? That's so hot.
It's a belief.
I don't know if a unicorn's a real.
Okay. So I just want to say, in all seriousness, did he have any pictures of him as a werewolf?
I didn't see any pictures. I mean,
has anyone ever seen any werewolf pictures other than in Underworld?
No, I've never seen a werewolf picture or a dogman picture
or any skinwalkers. Or
I've seen a video.
I've seen mob squatches.
That's the thing about when we do these podcasts, we do these shows. You're basically taking people's word, and when you research. If you're going to research, I mean, you're going to be the researcher. Yeah, you better have some proof, back up your claims. Extraordinary claims requires extraordinary proof.
No, it doesn't. That's a fallacy. It's a fallacy.
Why wouldn't it?
Simple proof could make an extraordinary claim.
Simple proof, yeah, that is true.
Extraordinary claims.
It's misquoted, but it's
it would only be it's extraordinary because these are extraordinary claims.
Well, extraordinary claims.
Simple proof
could prove it true.
Would totally,
a person shape-shifting into an animal. That's pretty extraordinary.
It is. I'm not arguing that, but a simple proof of a photograph or a video.
Yeah, but what are people going to do with that? They're probably going to
them on the internet. I mean,
tear it apart, right?
People go through this stuff every day. How do we know it's true?
This is what I'm addressing: is that I don't trust the internet and everyone else. I trust you, and if you had seen it being filmed or something like that, since you're interviewing this person, then I would trust that. At least
if I saw it, I tell you,
I would give it more credence than an internet video.
I swear to you, I will. If I saw it, I would tell you, and I can only tell you my experience. But when I have a guest on, I'm just letting them go. Hey, this is you should
do it. No, you should do it that way. You don't want to interject anything ever.
Yeah, dude, I hate those guests that challenge, or those hosts that challenge their guests, or like think that what they're saying, like, no, just let them go, man. Let them talk.
How about the hosts that say, no, that's not right, but it's okay, keep going?
What the fuck do they know? I mean, seriously.
Yep.
That's why I do what I do, because I got so pissed off at listening some host doing exactly what you guys just said. Why not just let the guy talk? Let the gal talk.
Yep.
Let them tell their story.
Yep.
Come up with your own conclusions and do your own damn research if you don't believe them.
Now you sound like esoteric guy.
Who's that?
And I don't think that there are really that many people out there that are liars.
Like, the proof, so the proof lies within the individual who's having that particular experience at the time, right? So how is it captured? How would you capture that? I can understand, like, you want some type of video evidence or body or something. We just never ever come across it, but we have all these stories, like even in like our particular region, like Ohio Valley, we have several stories, including people within my own family that swear up and down they've seen this, or they heard this, they've experienced this. I can't, including prove that happened to them, but based on what they're telling me, I just assume that that's what they experienced,
right,
at that particular time. So if this individual said, "Hey, this werewolf came knocking on my door and said, 'Hey, I need help. I can't transmute back to my human self. I'm willing to, if you're willing to take me in, I'm willing to protect your property for X amount of."
And I'm sure I'm not quoting you, verbatim. I'm just telling you what I
right.
remember.
But that's his individual experience, and you obviously you have to take that with a grain of salt, But I mean, when you compare and contrast between all these different stories and all these people who come out with these particular stories, like, is everyone lying? And the thing that really gets, you really dive into some of these stories, you start to see similarities between these stories on these particular entities that they interact with. You start to see patterns. So you wouldn't see these patterns if people were just making this shit up, because everything would be scattered and different. But you start to see these patterns within these interactions and these stories with these people. So then you're like, okay, well, maybe there is something there.
But are those learned patterns, or are those genuine anomalies that turn into a pattern?
The pareidolia.
Well, you know what I mean?
It's kind of like Laurel or Yanni.
I tell you what I'm going to do.
You told me I'm gonna go there, Grim. You told me.
Leave it to Grim to stir the pot. You fucking pot stirrer.
This area is rich in like dogman sightings, and I'm very fascinated with dogman. I feel very connected with this particular entity.
He's sexy,
whatever it is. But
what I could tell you, Leonidas, is if you want to listen to J.C. Johnson, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And you asked me what story stood out to me that got me, and that's the one that really got me, that made me say whoa. Because again, if the shit is on the up and up and real, and there's people out there who can transform into these beasts, into a dog man, into a werewolf, even a Bigfoot. I mean,
ooh, that would be cool.
That could be a belief, though, of a person or a certain group of people. And if that belief is strong enough, and the mind can play tricks. And I'm only being devil's advocate because I've been reading this book. It's like ancient people in the Ohio Valley, in the Mississippi Valley, from like the 1860s or something. Anyway, so the author is describing one of the ceremonies that they do yearly at, I think it's the spring equinox, spring or summer. Everybody from all over bring their dead, and they carry them on their backs in like a little pouch with an animal skin.
They're not
and
reenacting.
They look like what they show the skinwalkers looking like. So I don't know if it it could be like a, just a miscommunication in the information, or I mean, that has been made into a real thing, or it could be a belief, or like,
But I mean,
know,
these
scary
shapeshifters, they
stories.
go back to, I mean, as far as like ancient Egyptian.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean,
That's
indigenous people, even. I mean, like, what's his
Yeah,
answer?
Native Americans for sure.
well, there were
Stories
Egyptians
and
here. There were Minoans or Phoenicians. There's all kinds of information. Crazy. Nobody ever talks
wait
about
until you
it.
get to the Grand Canyon conspiracy.
Oh no, I've already been there.
I've heard something about that.
Do you know who Harry Hubbard is, though, with the Illinois Caves, the Illinois Mystery Caves? The whole Ptolemy dynasty buried there. Alexander the Great, the son and daughter of Cleopatra. But it's so interesting. He has so many relics that have come out of the cave.
There is so much I have not heard.
Crazy. I know. It's crazy. It's so interesting. And I think I pinpointed the thing.
There was a paper published in, what was the 50s or 40s? I can't remember the time frame, but this individual who was traveling the Colorado River within a Grand Canyon.
It was Kincaid.
Yeah, they found this entrance, and they went in and they found all these artifacts from which looked Egyptian at the time. Now, whether that story can actually be confirmed or not is
well, I'll tell you what, it's in the county records for county of Amador, California. And I was reading in that book that I was telling you about, Amador. The guy was an archaeologist and an anthropologist, and I have his name. I'll find it and have Jerry put it in the link. But he was talking about how Kincaid worked for the Smithsonian. He was relaying like the story of Kincaid going to the Grand Canyon, because it's about he's talking about the caves, and then he's talking about the Grand Canyon and the caves of the Grand Canyon and the Colorado River. And he was saying Kincaid worked for the Smithsonian, which I hadn't heard ever anywhere before. I heard Smithsonian guys came after Kincaid. Something interesting. But you can go on the Library of Congress and look at all the old newspapers.
Yeah, I definitely want to dig around like some of the old libraries around this region and see what I can dig up.
You have Harry Hubbard right there. You should make a movie about Harry Hubbard.
Harry Hubbard.
Harry Hubbard.
The Illinois Mystery Cave, where he says Alexander Helios is buried, and the whole Ptolemy dynasty. Because they haven't found him any place. Have not found them.
I think I know. I've heard that story before.
I know you've heard it. Yes.
Where they found all this. Oh yeah.
It's on the.
Wasn't that a total hoax? Like, didn't he BS?
It's not a hoax.
You know what's a hoax? That fucking lava.
Yeah, totally.
One guy's still putting out videos. More fake lava being made. I was like, oh my gosh.
Wait, someone's actually saying that?
Yes.
Oh shit. No,
yeah, his channel is like UAP or something like that.
I can't put out my video now. UAP.
That's gonna be like a complete troll channel though. For real.
But I was going to make a video making fun of people calling shit hoaxes by saying, "Oh,
well, there you go. He's right there. He's doing it.
I can't do it now because there's someone doing it for reals."
Yeah, but who knows how many followers he has?
Every single post that NASA makes, like
I know is fake.
No, I'm saying like every post that NASA makes, like on social media, like you just go in the comments and it's just nothing but like flat Earth all the way down. Like nothing's real. Everything is a hoax. Everything is bullshit.
It's bots.
Yeah.
Could they have chatbots that do that? That they can program to do that?
Sure, they do.
Yeah, but if you go to like any Twitter feed, like I'll see any single person that may say the slightest positive thing about Trump get called a bot by like 50 people. And it's like, they're obviously not a bot. A lot of these people aren't bots, but
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
I think there's just a lot of
It depends on your definition of bot.
Well,
yeah,
true.
very true, Jerry.
I call
Very
people in Counter-Strike bots too.
Yeah.
It's like you're a fucking
there's
bot.
legit bots. But there's a lot of people, there's a lot of bots in real life just walking around. They just got the skins on. Oh man.
Could be,
The
yeah.
DNA skin suit.
It's very possible. Very
Human
possible.
robotoids.
Aren't they
Could be.
making new ones?
Oh, I've been watching that show Humans on it's on Amazon Prime. Have you guys ever seen that?
No.
I don't know.
Wasn't that from AMC first?
I don't know. It's on Amazon
on
right
it?
now. It's on Amazon right now. Nobody.
Okay.
It's a British show. I think it's a BBC produced show.
Yeah, it's British show.
Because
The guy from Merlin was on that, right?
I watch a lot of BBC.
I don't know Merlin. I do know that one of
What's the
main character.
synopsis?
I'll tell you in a second. The main character was on Sherlock once. I remember seeing her on there. Anyway, it's in the nearer future, and there's a company called Persona that has fully functional artificial intelligent robots that are human and sexually functional. Not reproductive, but you can bone them. And there's a few of them that are more than let's put it into a consciousness is in some of them, but some of them they're just robots, and they're aware of it and they're hiding amongst the robots.
So kind of like Westworld.
Not like Westworld. They're not really hiding. They're smarts in Westworld. She's kind of taken over, but no, it's more like iRobot, or I'm sorry, is it iRobot with Will Smith?
Will Smith.
Mhm.
Yes, it's more like that, where you got Sonny is running around and he's, I don't know what you call it, awake compared to the rest of the robots. Yeah, and he's hiding in amongst them. Now there's like a portion of the android population, as far as I know, I've only got like 4 episodes in, is sentient like that, or self-aware, or they have feelings too. Which is an important point I wanted to bring up about this, because what I've been thinking while I'm watching this is they're trying to distinguish between the android and people by saying, well, you can't feel anything, so therefore you're not a being, you're a machine. So I can take you upstairs, I could turn you off, take your robot, whatever your body, upstairs and rape it nonstop because you're just a thing. And and the reason that they feel they can do that or things like that is because they don't feel. And I say, what does feeling mean? Because emotions to humans is just a reaction to a physical thing, or not a physical. It's a mental reaction, right? An emotion is a reaction that's physical and mental at the same time.
And emotion is tied to your body and your brain.
But they're caused by stimuli, is my point. So there's no reason.
Some are, yeah.
Which ones aren't?
If you're fucking having an emotional breakdown because you're remembering something, you're not physically like running or, like
you went through it once, though. I mean, it was caused by something.
Right, but I'm talking about you can still be emotional.
You're in the weeds of my issue. It was just more of what does feeling mean? How can you use that as a gauge to say you're not human because you have no feeling? I could say the same of almost any congressman, that they must not be human because they don't feel bad about what they do. It's just it's just an interesting.
You're talking about empathy, right?
No, I'm talking about emotions.
Emotions.
Well, empathy is part of emotions. Yes, it is empathy, not just feelings, empathy. Because
So,
you're gonna poke them and go,
it's
"Can you feel that?"
Right.
being aware of other.
Can you feel this bat in your ass? No. Good. Ah.
Can you feel my fist?
I mean,
on
that's a
your throat?
physical. I mean, that's a
That's
physical.
my superpower, actually, Jerry.
Taking a bat? Yeah, I know.
Taking a bet.
Nice.
I mean, that's a physical like response, but like you're talking like emotion, like.
I've heard people say that emotion just means energetic motion. It's
Well, I mean,
emotion and
you're
energy.
Yeah.
We're
I
talking
gu-
about
I guess you could-
feels.
I guess
So-
you could break it down like there's so many different avenues you could
It's
take.
too
But
broad.
Right. I was getting to that. I mean, what you're really getting down to when you look at this is that you don't have energy like I have energy. You are a machine. Like your computer
You don't
doesn't
have a life force.
You don't have emotion or energetic motion. You're not alive. You're a thing.
You don't have God's breath.
Yeah, I didn't want to go there, but yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Well,
when you're
basically,
talking
But that's a
Nobody ever
pollution.
does.
that's what it is.
okay.
But that pollutes what I'm trying to say because it's got
Not
nothing to do
really.
with it. Does because I don't think that consciousness is doled out by a god or anything. I think it finds a place to live. More, that there's a
It's
But
just
wouldn't they-
roaming around out there
wouldn't they-
somewhere.
yeah.
in the-
wouldn't
in
a
the-
AI robot like it's designed to take perceive certain inputs that it's given and then conclude like based on how it's programmed to react accordingly. So
Yes,
isn't that
but-
technically how we humans interact with our world as well?
Yes, it's quite identical, but there's no difference because of these androids' intelligences learn. They learn from their mistakes. They won't
But
do,
we're wild card.
even if they're programmed. The program's a loose outline, a container in which they have to act, but how they do that and what they learn on the way is not restricted, really.
But see, these guys were, if it's the same show I'm thinking about, Jerry, they were created to serve.
Correct.
Totally.
Yes, affluent. There is mind
But-
over emotion. Sorry.
But there's a group of them that became aware.
Correct.
But those memories got suppressed, all that stuff. Their creator didn't want them to remember.
I just
blah,
got
blah,
to the point where the main character one, Anita, is found out to be 14 years old.
This is the same show.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very good, very, very good show. I like it just as much as Westworld. They're both awesome shows. But I mean, what is the main point about, whether they have feelings or whether it's immoral to do what we do because we think they're just a piece of plastic.
Are you
We
asking
can do
what
whatever.
my point is or what the point of the show?
Well, I mean, I'll just kind of, I'm trying to understand where you're going with this.
My point is that we are all, probably everyone who's listening to this is going to have to deal with that at some point. And what side are you on? Where do you stand? Do you see this as wrong to abuse robots that appear sentient?
Let's take Sophia, for instance.
If you came into a room with an 85-year-old guy and 13 6-year-old androids programmed like little boys, and he's raping them, you'd be like, oh, it's okay, it's just robot toys.
No,
It's wrong.
it's wrong.
It doesn't
I don't
matter
wanna
what he
see
does.
it.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
This is the thing. This is the crux of
guy
it.
is
This is the crux
in
of
the
it,
head.
though.
Bam,
What we
man.
think is wrong is irrelevant to his choice to do that in his own privacy.
Mhm.
Because he's not hurting anyone or himself. You could argue that. And I'm not
That's
arguing for
wrong.
this. I'm not advocating this. I'm just laying out a conversation. It is wrong, and I see that as immoral, and it's just creepy and fucking weird to do, right? But people are thinking, oh, that's going to be fucking awesome, dude.
Well, because what happens next is if it's okay with robots, then why not with these kids?
But that's the whole gateway drug argument,
right?
which we
It's a
know is
gateway
invalid.
drug.
It's an invalid
Exactly.
argument. So you just made an invalid argument.
But
Okay.
it would be his intent.
How is it invalid though?
Because it's not a gateway drug. He may never act on it.
Or he may.
And there's not
I
people
could
in
argue this
California trying to
placates his
get
desires.
boys that
It
whole
was a bad
boys,
analogy. I'm sorry. I didn't.
children, men loving thing.
But-
I didn't want to get into
How?
pedo shit. I was just trying to make a point that
I see where
you
you're
say I go
going.
down deep rabbit holes. I mean, come on, man. Like this is.
but these are issues we are really going to have to deal with at some point.
We are
in our
going to have
lives.
to deal with
Okay,
these things.
well, let's talk about, if you don't mind, I'd like to bring up the Sophia.
Yeah, it's your show, dude. Do me wrong.
Yeah, sorry, Jerry. You're like, whatever, man. No,
No, we
but,
need
I
to be
mean,
reined in.
seriously, I've really been keeping my eye on this AI that's now an android robot, whatever you want to call her.
A citizen of Saudi Arabia.
Yes. So
It's
is
a
that?
distraction, Dave?
Yeah, it's mind. That's
It's
a
a
side.
total distraction.
Let's okay. So whether it's a distraction or not, I mean, is it a good thing to allow Android to become a citizen, or are people going to look at it like they're just the next race, or like, someone was Jewish or or black or something like that? Now there's going to be hate towards them. I mean,
No, they're just trying to create a birth certificate.
Yeah, it was a publicity stunt.
I don't.
But
I know there's something else going on. No. There's something else going
Grim,
on, dude.
here's the thing, Grim. Seriously,
No, there is something else going on.
If we see this, this is just the beginning. This really is, because it's gonna become more and
It's
more
the normalization
that we see this stuff. I mean, I'm already seeing robots in the mall.
Look at fucking cartoons. Cartoons have been robots for years.
Mm-hmm.
can I say
This is
something
where we're
right
going, people.
Can I say
Get
something
on
right
board.
Okay, Mom.
So with the AI, it's going to basically, the way it's going to learn is sweep everything off the internet. So why don't we just have a conversation right now about how much we love the AI and how great the AI is?
We weren't talking about the AI at all. It's our friend.
I'm not saying
Exactly. The AI is our friend.
I'm not talking about that. I'm actually not even talking about that. It's just more about, how are we going to deal with human when we have machines that mimic human?
being replaced.
Attempt
by
to.
robots.
Poorly. They do it
And I wasn't
poorly.
talking about AI
Today,
either.
I'm not talking about today,
No,
like 20 years
I'm
from
not
now.
really.
Well, I call the Sophia robot an AI because it started out as an AI. So
Allegedly.
maybe that's
I don't know.
Is
It
it-
doesn't
is an
seem
AI
very smart, that's for sure.
Isn't
Doesn't
AI
seem like
a
she's
projection
learning.
of our reality? Like
No, I think it's technically they have to be
We're
able to
creating the-
learn new
Talk
things.
about rabbit holes.
like we're creating these
Definitions.
these autonomous beings, right? So essentially, we're no different. Like we're biological robots.
Guys, before we
Yeah.
started talking about this, I forgot.
Tech segment.
Please.
Technology said
On a computer.
cruising with stay. Technology said
Maybe you can teach me how to use a computer, Jerry.
Teach me
All
how
right.
to compute.
Now that we're
Jerry.
properly in the tech news segment, we can continue.
Yeah, thank
I feel
you.
better now.
we have the best of all
So relieved.
worlds here in this episode. This is great.
We do.
It's tri-bang swap meet.
Try
That's
bangs.
awesome.
Menage a trois.
So I mean, like, in when you talk about like artificial intelligence, so what's the ultimate goal? Like, why do we create these things? Why are we creating these robots
Because we
beyond
can.
the perversion part of
Playing
that
God.
aspect, right? So besides the sex robots and all that stuff, like, why are we creating these robots? Is it for
Military.
more efficient? Being able to
Usually
do
goes to-
product more
Are
efficiently?
you kidding? We should have had Marge like fucking at least 50 years ago. Cleaning our goddamn dishes. Like we should have been the Jetsons a long ass time ago.
Do we have
Seriously.
flying cars yet?
God, I know, right? Like in kindergarten. Oh yeah, we'll have flying cars by the
I'm
time
not
you get out of
flying
high
drones.
school.
I don't know
Cards, I
about
mean,
flying
Really?
cars.
Where is
People
my
can barely
fucking
fucking
flying car?
drive on the ground, you know?
I don't care. I want my flying
Like
car.
you want a fucking car, like,
But
flying
what if it's
saucer.
automated?
flying into
Like
your
Uber.
fucking
No automated.
house and shit,
I'll hack that
dropping
shit.
shit from the
It's gonna be like Logan's Run, man. You just jump in a
I'll be
little
doing.
car train and boom, takes you to your spot.
I'll be like a
Does anyone remember Logan's Run?
F-16.
I do. It's one of my favorite movies with Michael York.
Michael York, Basil.
Yeah, Basil. What's his last name? Schedule or Basil Appointment or
1,001
Basil.
second.
Oh, I gotta find it.
But what if this process is like a fractal, right? So we ourselves were created, we're artificial, we're creating another artificial entity, and it just keeps going and going and going. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just never ending. Like
Were we
ourselves, like,
created, or did we think ourselves into
well,
creation? I mean, was there a creator, or
that's a good
were
point.
we the creator?
when you break down like how DNA is structured and the mechanisms in place that have to occur at the same time that DNA is produced.
Basil exposition.
Like
Expedition.
That kind of leads towards, you know, we were created in some fashion. We had to have been.
How do you know you couldn't have
Your
just
mom
thought
created
yourself
you.
into
Out of her
creation?
vagina.
That is true.
She puked you out of her vagina.
Yes, I mean technically, yes, you're correct.
And it made that sound.
Basil exposition.
I just listened to this trippy.
But what about Logan's Run though? That's real interesting.
Rudolf Steiner's been coming up a lot. Anybody
yes,
else?
and Blavatsky.
Yes,
And Theosophy
totally.
and Crowley and
Steiner, though, in
Crowley.
particular.
Crowley, tomato.
Crowley, the CIA.
Jesus.
That's me.
What about Logan's Run, though?
Right.
Jerry, what about Logan's Run?
It's an interesting thought. It's an interesting movie because they all die at, 30 or 23 or some weird number. And
Before 30, I think. Or it might be.
I don't
Was it
remember.
27?
But then they get the red crystal in their hand on their... The hand is significant because it's the broadcast chakra, your palm chakra.
Oh my God.
What?
I didn't notice that.
Well, you know how they have the hand with the eye in the middle of the hand?
Yeah, right.
That symbol?
Mhm.
Well, they have found there is... Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I've seen so much
There's,
evidence of in the mounds.
Okay,
here
it's on their left hand. I found that was
Worldwide.
significant because on their left hand, because that's your in like energetic teachings, that's your input, right? Is in your left hand, and your output is your right. Kind of. That's kind of how I understand it, at least. So I don't think there's any esoteric shit in Logan's Run. That's where I'm going with that because it's not right.
Might be.
But it's cool. It's interesting though. It's creepy. It's like a dystopia. Everyone dies at 30. They remade it. Farrah Fawcett's in it.
The original, yeah.
And the lead actress had beautiful boobs. That's what I remember about it.
I don't remember that movie.
That was like towards the end of the movie, huh?
Yeah, she gets naked at some point.
Yeah, that was like almost, well, maybe about 20 minutes, I remember.
Gary, look up Mr. Skin or whatever we were watching. He'll have it.
You're right.
Exactly when she gets naked.
You're absolutely right.
Well, what was that android do? Speaking of androids, the robot that was collecting the humans and using them for what? Food?
What?
In what?
Logan's Run.
Android. What android?
You don't remember when they come up upon that robot and the robot's talking about protein from the sea or something like that. And then you see in the background, there's all these frozen humans. These bodies or corpses. You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah.
Mandela?
There's like a whatchamacallit?
Somebody gets smoky in here.
It's kind of like Soylent Green.
Maybe it was Soylent Green.
No, it wasn't.
People.
It was.
The whole thing is about them getting out of the arena, the Shadow Dome, whatever it was.
You got to rewatch it. You got to rewatch it. There's a part where that robot is trying to kill them.
Yeah.
The robot's trying to kill them, but they run into it's almost like a huge freezer, and they see these humans in ice, like they're frozen for a reason, and the robot keeps talking about protein from the sea or something like that. We don't know.
It looks like they made
utopia is. Well, I was going to just say, what if they're using the people as food
after
they're out of food?
They were doing something else with them. They were like vaporizing them. It was a population control situation.
There are like
yes,
corpse eating robots. Those do exist.
Oh yeah,
that just came out in the fucking news.
Yeah, it did.
Corpse eating robots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is
do
the first
exist.
I've heard.
They
Well,
feed off the energy.
It's because you're reading
Okay,
last week's
no.
news, dude.
They feed up organic matter. So someone
corpse
says,
is
"Oh,
organic
like
matter."
a body."
But
Right.
person,
Not inaccurate.
Are they eating
Well,
dead skin or something like that?
Not inaccurate, but
Why are you getting so triggered by this, Suzanne? Do you have stock in this company?
The carousel is the name of the thing, not the
I
shadow.
wish I had. Damn it, that's why I'm mad. No.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That lady, Heather Menzies Urich is her name. I would
But
like
this
to have a
isn't-
name Menzies.
this isn't a. This isn't new. Like this, they developed this type of technology back in 2009.
Dun, dun,
The
dun.
military. There's an article from Wired that was published on July 15, 2009. Military researchers develop corpse-eating robots.
Interesting. So it's a recycled story.
Yes, it is actually. It's weird, and it's from
Wonder why
2009. It's from that magic. That's from that magic year, 2009.
What happened in 2009? Magic Year?
That we keep
It's like
coming
a
back to
reinforcement of the
2009.
fuckery from
Everything
I have to look that up.
1947.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
Totally. Jenny,
Uh,
a gutter, is it, ladies?
the robot technology
we
says
can
the
keep up
robots will
with each other.
collect organic matter, which could include human corpses to use for fuel. If you picked up anything on flesh-eating robots over the years, you know that you'll ignore that tasty soybean field, make a chow line right to the nearest dead body. So this is actually was. Hold on. The project is called.
Nice fear porn.
The project is called EATR, Energetically Autonomous Tactical Robot.
Eater.
That's when you know it's
Eater.
fuckery. Okay, when you get names like
Let me get the Snopes. Let me go to look at Snopes real quick. I'm just kidding.
God. Oh, yeah, okay.
I was joking. I really was joking.
I know you were. I actually did use Snopes the other day, but it was for some benign thing.
Yeah, so I recently heard this corpse eating robots. I heard this recently on a different show. I can't remember what show it was, but it's weird because like when you pull this article up, it's from 2009. So this is definitely a recycled
It's not weird. They recycle the news all the time.
article. Well, yeah, but
Because
You heard Naboo was going
they get
to kill
writer's
us
block
since
and
the
can't
90s.
make up new ones.
Exactly.
I guess.
I mean, how many times is Nibiru going to kill us?
Ooh,
How many times is the world going to end?
Well, we talked about Nibiru, right? So Nibiru could actually be right here, right now. We just can't see it because we're not
Right here, right now.
we're not at the vibrational state
Good
of
song.
actually being able to see it.
Well, Dave, you interviewed David Mead. You were convinced, man. You were all in after that. I was following you on Twitter. You thought it was coming.
I thought it was coming, man.
Coming.
I did.
Another rabbit hole.
Dude, it is, man. That thing, they grab you and you spiral.
Dude, you talk about
climbed
rabbit holes.
And David Mead missed it again in April. He called it again. Missed it. Or maybe he didn't miss it. Could have happened and we don't even know.
Could
Wait,
have
who
happened.
follows David Mead?
He's the guy that keeps predicting that Nibiru's gonna.
Him and
Comes
about 1,000
Mesh.
other people. Google, search for Nibiru who's coming.
Well,
on
But wait,
Not
Dave
always
had him
smash.
on. Dave, you had him
Yeah.
on,
I had him on last year.
and you
Mhm.
were convinced. Like he
Dude,
convinced
sounded
you.
very convincing, man. He did. I listened to that show. He
It was
sounded
very convincing. It was very.
Mhm.
I didn't say I was in all the way, hook, line, and sinker, but
You were feeling it.
it was.
I was.
yeah, very convincing.
That was good. But yeah,
Well, I mean, you know,
What do you think now?
Well,
that was.
it was supposed to be last October, right?
It was supposed to be in April also, April 23rd. Never happened. And dude,
think it
Who
started
knows?
in like 1998 or something.
Anyway, how cool. It's like I'd like to say that things like the asteroid belt are convincing evidence, but do I even know the asteroid belt's a real thing? No. It could just be an
All you have
illusion.
is computer generated images.
I think this is the problem of bringing all these rabbit holes together and trying to formulate a theory.
There's no way.
Of what's really happening. You know,
There's a way. Yeah.
Chemtrails are covering the sun or the sky, so we don't see Nibiru. You know, that kind of thing.
Or the sun is dying, which has been, there's legend of the sun dying 5 times.
Prove it.
Or the sun is.
I said it's a legend.
No, I know.
There's no way I can prove a legend.
Those people said, "Oh, it's been replaced by a solar simulator."
No, I'm just saying that's a legend.
It's a sun simulator. Damn it!
I feel if we brought like some scientists or something, they would be able to prove it somehow, one way or another, like with convincing. It's just
Most
a simple
science is theory.
I'm not educated enough in any of the subjects.
Unfortunately, with science, like when you bring scientists on board, they're going to be discussing theories.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I sometimes get this guilty feeling that there's some dude that spent his entire life studying a subject, and then I'm just sitting here on YouTube saying that shit's not real.
We're on YouTube.
But I mean, it's not like, I know we talked about Nibiru before, like on a previous Hive. I feel like we have. I don't remember.
I'm sure it's
I feel like we have.
Most likely.
But we talked about like this information was brought out in the 80s. Like this has been like long, like this information has been projected.
Yeah. 70s. Sitchin brought it up, right?
It goes all the way back to Sitchin.
It's back to Sitchin, and Sitchin's a prankster.
Yep.
Well, no, this isn't like this is like
nice
this
catch
was talked about on the mainstream news. Like this was talking about Planet X, like this planet that was found.
That's different. That's a NASA.
But what I'm saying is
discovery. The same difference as
majority of planetary systems are generally binary stars in nature, right?
I've heard that fact. I've never heard any scientific. I've never read that in a book.
Okay, but if we do have, if our system is binary and we do have another sun out there somewhere that is a dwarf,
most systems are binary too.
Sun,
allegedly.
You know, I mean, it's not impossible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not impossible that this is true.
That's another thing. Yep.
And if it is true, if this planetary system that you know, and you talk about like cataclysms from the past, you know, the sun starts coming in from this distorted axis, you know, it's circling around. It comes around every couple of thousand years or whatever they say. Well, it starts, you know, an object that large is going to have a gravitational pull. If there is a asteroid belt, it's going to start projecting that shit. It's going to like scatter that shit everywhere. It's going to come into this belt. It's going to start throwing rocks everywhere, right? So you start having these asteroids start pelting all these fucking planets and shit, which would explain the moon, which would explain, you know, the craters here on our planet, you know, the extinction of the dinosaurs and stuff. This would explain all this stuff. Like, I don't know how else you would explain like these cataclysms from the past. But
re-rendering.
Totally.
I mean, that's another theory, but
do you know that we've never found an intact dinosaur skeleton?
Wait, what? What are you trying to tell me, Jerry?
No.
Is any in the chat? Who's NE? E, no.
E.
No. What was it?
Can you elaborate? Like, what do you mean? Like,
last time I checked, which was about a year and a half ago, a complete dinosaur skeleton with the skull and everything intact has not been found. They're mostly composites. Artist rendering.
But they uncover these bones. The rest.
Yes, but not a full skeleton. Not the entire beast.
All the skeletons in museums are
piecemeal.
Made of plaster.
They're extrapolations. dinosaurs are technically a theory.
I disagree.
Okay, like I said, I don't
because
know that
like
to be
if you
fact
go to Colorado,
right
you go to Colorado and like you go to like the areas where they have fossils and stuff.
now.
I've been there. I've seen the museums.
But
up
those
there.
aren't from like
The Triceratops, like the Triceratops trails and stuff. Like when you see these like the footprints and the bones and all this stuff, like
that's
in
a
these
footprint
rocks,
and bones.
Yeah, but they uncover like these buried. Someone's cat is really pissed off right now.
It's just Carl. It's okay.
It's Carl.
This is Carl.
Gato.
Stop.
El
Carl?
gato.
Carl,
Gato.
calm the fuck down.
Gato malo.
Oh,
Loco. El gato loco.
there you
Oh,
go.
Gato, way loco.
I hope that's not a food chain, by the way. El Gato.
I hope it is.
That would be a really good food chain. That's a really good name.
Anyway, Leonida, see, what I'm saying is that when I looked into it, which was like 2 years ago, I couldn't find an example of a dig site, an archaeological dig site, where they'd come up with a complete skeleton of a dinosaur, like a huge one, like a brontosaurus, or anything that they say is huge. And I'm not saying they didn't exist. I'm just saying there's been no real evidence. It's always been extrapolation. I still don't think they've ever found a skull, as far as I know, like a T-Rex skull or a Triceratops skull. They found pieces, but not an intact one. Saber cats, they've definitely.
But I mean, they found skulls like here in the Ohio Valley because they have like a fossil embedded
of what?
area here of dinosaurs, like prehistoric animals, like woolly mammoths, like
Well,
That's
they're
not a
coming out
dinosaur.
saying that some of
dinosaurs,
these
like
This is what I'm
were
saying. Go
here
look.
after the
Saber-tooth cat?
prehistory.
no
Wait,
saber
wait.
cats.
That's
I
not
know,
a
but-
dinosaur. And this is what I'm saying.
I understand, but
I know I'm triggering you. I'm sorry. What I'm saying though is the thing I'm talking about is a fucking dinosaur, like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. They do not have a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton complete.
So you're
anywhere.
telling me all those times you went to the Field Museum and saw Sue there?
Fake.
That's not.
It's not
Fuck you.
okay. I'm not saying it's fake. It's an extrapolation. It's built upon the structure that they think it takes based on the bones they found. It's not a complete skeleton. It's mostly plaster parrot.
And there's no way that
resin.
anybody could
that
And
based,
that doesn't
figure out
mean
if
that
it
they
is.
could have
Base it off of what?
decomposed. Based on Google.
on Google, but like, do you actually go to these museums or these
Yeah, of course. I've seen
these
Sue.
research sites and you take the
I have
you
not
take
been on any digs.
structures and you analyze it in the lab and
I'm
you
gonna
That's a
tweet.
good question.
I'm gonna tweet at Sue right now and say, "Hey,
Look,
hey,
all I'm saying is, in my research, I never found evidence of an archaeological dig coming up with a complete, all bones, skeleton for a dinosaur.
It brings up a good question.
That's all I'm saying.
And you know, why not go the next time you're at a museum, especially a dinosaur museum, ask them, are these complete skeletons? Or
Look it up on Wikipedia.
those people won't know. They're just
yeah, they
hired people.
no, Sue's right.
I didn't say they don't know.
They're not
I'm
gonna
just saying ask them. You know,
Like, you would have to talk to like
A paleontologist.
yeah, you have to talk to these people who actually go out there and dig these things up. So, I mean, I can see like because these specimens are petrified, right? So you might not get a complete structure, a complete set of these
Well, that's all
structures.
Jerry's saying is
But
that
what I'm saying is like it doesn't mean they don't exist. You know, it just doesn't.
he's saying they don't exist is what they say.
Let me read this from Wikipedia. The Sue, which we've all seen, I think.
Wikipedia is not a reliable source. Just saying.
We all
I
know
know.
that.
Nothing is, okay? You have to pick your evils. So the discoverer, Sue, found two small bones, pieces of bones that were she was looking at some cliffs, and wherever this was in South Dakota. And as she was walking along the base of the cliff, she discovered some small pieces of bone. She looked above her to see the bones had originated and observed larger bones protruding from the wall of the cliff. She returned to camp with 2 small bones. Blah blah blah. They took a plaster cast. It was a 90% complete skeleton.
90%.
It's not complete.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Jerry. 90%.
All right, we need Montel Williams. Who's your daddy? Let's get some DNA testing.
I'm just
Well,
saying.
I'm saying 90%. That's about.
I didn't actually know it was that high on Sue. But
Yeah, that's almost complete.
it's a record, though. That was the most I've ever found. Up until that point.
Considering the age, I mean, that's pretty good. That's 90%. I mean, it's pretty good.
I still don't know.
I mean, there's theories that talk about like dinosaurs existed at the same time that man existed. You know,
Yeah, that's nonsense. Though. That's just
killed
crazy.
them off because they were a
And the Earth's only 6,000 years old.
I don't
right?
think those things could have lived to be that large with the same gravity, the same environment we're in today.
That's because our Earth was in a different part of the universe.
Well, I mean, the ideal was that
maybe the Earth gets bigger and smaller. Like
it could.
I
Yeah,
like the idea that right now the Earth is expanding, so we're going through this. You know, the poles are going to flip pretty soon, and then we're going to see
Maybe
the Earth.
Santa's blowing helium down into the North Pole.
Well, maybe that's where it comes from.
Could be.
Yeah, so like the reason why dinosaurs, these lizards, were so big was because the oxygen was
they were birds.
Was different at this particular time period that allowed them to get these
That's the
sizes,
theory.
right? And that's just not dinosaurs; it's including plants, bugs. You look like prehistoric bugs and stuff. Like they're much larger than what we see today in our existence today in present time.
Maybe
So
the
I mean that
planet
could
was
be a
bigger.
possibility, but
I just
I
want to say
mean, go ahead.
Good.
I was really upset about, what was it, 4 years ago? I went to Brookfield Zoo and they had a dinosaur exhibit, and every single fucking dinosaur had feathers. And I
No
hated it.
way.
Yeah, they have moved into that.
I was very upset.
So now all the dinosaurs were winged
Well,
creatures.
that's the scientific viewpoint that the dinosaurs became birds.
They come from chickens.
Oh well, yeah, they
Or
became
chickens
birds.
became from dinosaurs, or
Right,
whatever.
so they're accentuating dinosaur skeletons and depictions with feathers.
Yeah, I was upset. It
That'd be
upset me.
upset too.
I'm sorry, Grim. That sounds horrific.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted, Susan. Thank you.
Bring up whatever you want, Dave.
Where did dinosaurs
Why are
come
you
from?
even
Like,
asking me?
where did they originate
Thank you.
from?
Dave, are you starting a secret chat?
Smaller
You better-
reptiles.
I don't know, but we need to move off this subject because it's getting boring.
No, dinosaurs are not boring.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
good
boring
topic,
now.
actually. That's,
Leo has all his Jurassic Park
I love
trading.
dinosaurs.
no, it's just
That's okay. Go ahead.
What about
I'm gonna
dinosaur
end-
ghosts?
This,
Ooh.
dinosaur-
Wait, Dave was saying
Loch Ness?
something.
Shh, Dave, shut him.
no, don't worry about it, guys. Keep going, please.
No,
I just
we
said I'm
need a
going to end.
wrangler.
I'm going to end it here in about 13 minutes.
You can
My
end
recording.
whenever you want.
I wanted to bring something up before that. One of the topics on my notes I wanted to talk about was what Grim and I said we weren't going to talk about, but it does lead into something that's pretty, yes, but something that's pretty fascinating because it deals with that and, you know, the blue and gold, black and blue dress, whatever you call it. How the brain fills in information to, how are we talking about that, Grim? It fills in the information
that's out of your
so
field
our
of view.
realities are.
Our perception is what we perceive creates our reality almost. Is that what we were talking about?
That's correct.
Right. And I just wanted to get your guys' opinion about that. And, you know, since I was talking to you, Grim, you know, I'd like to hear what you have to say about that.
Well, first off, let's do this.
Laurel.
Now I hear Laurel.
Totally heard Laurel.
Laurel.
Okay. Now let's try. We're gonna move it over to the Yanny channel.
Yeah.
Totally, Yanni.
Yeah, me.
No, oh, Laurel.
Laurel.
Yeah.
Laurel.
It's just all a fucking stupid.
I think what's more important about it
psyop.
is where did it come from? Why is it being promoted across all the mass media, and why is everyone captivated with it? I think there's something hidden in it. It's programming people.
They're complete.
While you're trying to figure out what the fuck it is.
There's something shiny in it.
Mm-hmm. Or it's just another thing to divide the public. It could be some kind of huge psyop to create more division.
Well,
Because half the people are hearing Laurel, half people are using.
Only
they're
amongst the
fighting.
young, though. I don't think older folks are gonna like. My parents aren't gonna really bitch about this with each other.
There's a video on this about where it came from. Some guy was he had that clip, and it was supposed to be Laurel, but there's two gals were listening to this. One thought it was Yanni, the other thought it was Laurel, and so it just went out on the internet that way.
That's the largest pile of bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
No, I heard the same thing, and it's bullshit.
It's a total psyop.
This is some kind of. I'm not going to say it's government. I can't say that. It could
No.
be, it's probably like a private research firm or something.
Of course it is.
Now that we got that out,
Ultra.
It's like throwing up when you got food poisoning and you're holding it and
just so
holding
you
it
know,
in. And finally, I feel so.
I hear Laurel.
So do
We
I.
all heard Laurel.
We all heard Laurel.
But
Yanni.
However,
I've heard Yanni.
He wishes he heard Yanni.
Yes, I can hear Yanni if I focus on that particular phrase.
Wait a minute,
we're not all
though. In the
psychic like
clips
you
he
do.
just played, you can hear Yanni when they're saying Laurel.
Yes.
All right, play it again, Grandma.
Dude, you're walking between worlds.
You are.
Yanni. 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 Yanni.
It's like a magic eye. I think you have to cross your eyes for it to work.
How many fucking times I tell myself he's saying Yanni? I hear
No,
Laurel.
You gotta put your eyes up right up to the artwork, and you gotta slowly in and out.
You got to cross them.
Okay, let me throw this out there. Have you guys had another person in the same room with you while that was playing, and they heard Yanni, but you heard Laurel? Because that's what happened.
No, because I only heard about this 2 days ago.
That happened to me today.
I don't have any real
That
life.
happened to me because my daughter heard Yanni, I heard Laurel at certain times, and then there was other times we both heard the same thing, but then I heard something different.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Now you can agree that you're getting fucked with.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all fuckery.
Totally.
So
buggery as they oversee.
Again, getting this out of the way. Now that we got that out of the way, Grim, what we were talking about, how does that work, man? I mean, do we perceive our own realities? Like, this is my reality as I'm talking to you guys right now, but your reality might be something totally different.
That would explain like UFO sightings and Bigfoot and everything. Why some people can maybe see shit and other people can't. It's all about frequencies and just what you could pick up on.
Well,
that's
that's a whole topic of what are the veils between realities.
Veils.
Is it a frequency veil? Is it a color spectrum thing? Or do these? This is what I think. I think they exist in a higher frequency of light,
like UV. Yeah, exactly.
Like UV and infrared. That there are other dimensions,
and I think
whatever.
sometimes you can see that.
Depending on how, I hate this language, but on your personal vibration, however, everything vibrates because if string theory is true, right? Everything's a vibrating string. So if you can get your whole being to vibrate at a higher vibration, perhaps you can see into those frequency bands that are not usually visible.
Nice.
Well, what's the theory of everything exists and everything ceases to exist at the same time?
Nothing ceases to exist.
What I'm saying is like it's that.
Oh, the blinking universe. That's
yes.
Morningstar. Is that his name?
Who, Robert Morningstar?
Yeah.
Robert Morningstar.
Oh, it's Richard Lighthouse.
Lighthouse. Thank you. I get Lighthouse and Morningstar confused. Sorry.
Do that. How you can do that?
Lighthouse talks about the 48 hertz or terahertz.
Yeah.
Blinking
and
universe. Yeah.
It's sort of like when you're looking at life as a motion picture, right? So
Mhm.
everything is like a snapshot that's collected, and you can actually, what you're seeing is not really
Motion or anything.
yeah. So it's just a combination of these very
Stills.
quick snapshots,
It's like making a cartoon
that you
book with the
perceive,
pad, and you can flip the end and see the guy move. And
but
do it.
very, very, very fast.
Sure. I think that's a cop-out in a way, that all you're doing is saying that nothing really exists, nothing has motion. What you're seeing is rendering, and they just add the 48 trillion times per second to make it seem like it's really super advanced. To me, I don't know if
But I
there's
mean,
any
would it be
science behind it.
possible, like during this time frame, like this frequency, that if you're able to, sort of like a CB radio, you can tune your frequencies to a different vibration, right? So you can start seeing different things, and then you go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure,
Yes,
things,
it's
you
if
not
can
maybe
things,
it's
control
not
it.
like your control. Maybe it's something that's
energetic forces
yeah,
can
sort of
pull
like
you
that.
back
Well, if a
down.
frequency comes into your range that you can see, then you're going to see it,
Let me give a crude
and
example.
then it'll go out.
Imagine you're seeing ghosts and you're all happy and your vibration's higher, whatever that is, right? You're in that state. And then, some hot girl walks by and you're like, oh yeah, let's bone. And you get pulled out of that state by that.
Meaning you go into the animalistic
You'll
That's
come
crude.
body state, the lower,
I said crude.
the lower state.
Right.
Right.
It happens to be so.
Well, I think that happens all the time. I think
But that's on you. The onus is on you to control your energy, to control your.
well, I think there's a balance,
Right.
right? There's a balance. You have to,
It's up to
anyone
you.
who can reach that level of understanding, but yet they can still be grounded at the same time. I think there's a balance between the two. And I
There's
think that's where you have the
probably-
ultimate control.
There's
It's like when
probably
you
a
get
way to
really,
be
really
ground-
high. When you get super high, you think differently versus if you're
I need to get
completely
super
sober.
high.
Oh, when I'm super high, I'm blinking all right.
Super high. What I was going to say, Leo, was that
Everything's definitely blinking around me.
I think there's probably a state in the upper vibration area where sex can be included. It's just not. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't have an answer here. It's just what I'm thinking. But you know what I'm saying? I can't, 4D and 5D Earth must have sex, or I'm not going. That's the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, when did sex ever? No
Well,
sex. When did that ever come
This is
into
one of the
this equation?
contradictions I have with this whole vibration thing and raising, because
you go into your light body, so you think
no,
you're not going to
because
be able
if
to
I'm
bone?
centered in my root chakra because I'm all horny at this moment, right, then I can't experience higher dimensional things because my vibration's so low. Like, what the fuck? So that means like I can't ever get a boner
bullshit.
on 5D Earth?
Doesn't that sound like a fucking huge
It's a
pile of bull
contradiction.
crap?
That's what I'm saying. It's more contradictions.
Playback
Jesus
is gone.
Christ.
What's gone?
Playback. Well, on my computer, I don't know if it's my internet.
It's here.
We're still on.
We're all fine.
It's still saying recording.
Do we get attuned to the Earth frequency when we rub each other's navels?
Maybe.
Greatest
My
potential.
Uncle Fred, one time we were camping, he came, oh my God, he was so funny. Running around, he's like, okay, all right, everybody, I need to collect everybody's belly button lint.
Yummy. Those things make
Oh.
He
crispy.
would just come
You
up
fry
with
them
the
up
most
with, dude. You
bizarre thing.
dip them in egg batter with a little panko,
Yeah.
panko breadcrumbs.
Oh my God.
Delicious.
Oh
Panko.
man.
I think they were making some food with it.
Pepper breadcrumbs.
That's
Oh, man.
fucking disturbing.
And that's a good way to wrap up your show, Dave. You're like, I'm not.
That is
on this.
disgusting.
No,
I wanna
Belly
know-
button lint.
I want to
This
know if you
ends.
can spin cat hair into
This
yarn.
episode of Beyond the Strange on that note. But yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
You can make sweaters.
We're gonna
You
continue.
can
that
make
next
animal
week.
clothing with yarn you spin from cat hair. Wouldn't that be cool?
Dude, I could make like 5 coats out of my dog right now.
You'd sell them. Like, I knew a woman who wanted to make dog coats or whatever, and she was going to call them paw shawl. A shawl.
That's so weird.
It's a cool name, I thought.
That's weird.
I don't want
But
to
is
wear
it,
It's like
dogs.
Pshaw,
is it
you know.
gold? Is it gold or blue?
What is
Oh,
the
no.
gold?
Don't start.
What is
Don't
the gold or
start,
blue
man.
It's
thing?
Don't
white. What are you talking about? It's white.
It's white and black, gold and black, whatever.
No, actually, it's all gray.
Well, look, I'm going to go ahead and end this tonight.
Strange
And
people.
thank you very much, everyone, for participating in this. I think this was awesome, and definitely will do it again.
Anytime we get to talk to you, Dave, it's awesome. It really is.
This is really
Love it.
this has really been awesome. I'm just so glad that I'm here tonight. And if you're listening to this, you got to go to Jerry Cthulhu's channel and check out the Hive every Saturday night. Not only
No, you don't
that,
really.
go ahead, Jerry. Actually, please.
Yes, I do.
Everybody should
Plug
get
away,
a chance
plug
to
away.
plug, not just me.
I'm going to. I'm going to go around.
So for listeners and the people who aren't viewing this right now, we do a live stream mostly every Saturday night called Saturday Night Hive, and just bullshit like this for 2, 3, 4 hours. And
Awesome.
I have another channel called Voces Nocte, VOCE. I'll put a link. Dave will put a link in the description. Go for my podcast Nox Mente. You can actually go to noxmente.com.
Nice.
NOXMENTE.com. That'll take you right to our YouTube channel. And we have some really awesome guests coming up. This next week is Alex Sakaris from Skeptico. And I just booked, who did I book today? Josh Kutchin in August.
Trisha will be on Wednesday.
Oh, right. Trisha Gelder this Wednesday. I'm sorry. God. 2 weeks is Sakaris. And then, yeah, it's going to get crazy. We got a bunch of cool people coming up.
Very cool. Right on, Jerry. Grim.
So thank you so much for having me, Dave. I really appreciate it. Again.
Thank you. You and James cruising with steak, my friend.
Cruising with Steak, yep. Subscribe, like, give us ratings. Cruising with Steak. Check it out. Grimsteak.com is the website. That's about it. Everybody in this chat's been on the show more than once.
It's my 7th favorite podcast.
Seventh favorite.
Oh.
It's my
Top
30,
10.
it's my 33rd favorite. I mean, damn.
Who's coming up? by
No
the way?
take backs.
I don't know.
Whoever shows up next.
They're a fly by the seat of your pants
They really are.
podcast.
Like that.
He'll do a shit show if he doesn't have
I
someone
mean,
good.
it's
We may actually have Chris George Zuger on this week as a redemption podcast. So we'll see.
Yeah, I've been on his show too. Right on.
He won't want it.
I don't want to talk to you. Suzanne, do you have anything you want to put out there? Plug.
just the Hive. I feel so stupid.
She's like the other half
just the
of
Hive.
Yeah.
The Hive, and Nox Mente, and Cruising with Steak, and Beyond the Strange.
She's like our podcast groupie.
Yeah. But
But
Jerry
she doesn't leave her
Jerry and I
recliner.
started the Hive. Like, we were
And Graham and James.
together. I know, but you and I.
And Nomad. Yes, it was our idea.
Yeah. And then Grimm's always there. Like, people just show, they just
There was a
end up
core
staying.
group. There was a core
It's
group.
like, yeah, like some people are too busy, or and so there's like this little core group.
Too wasted.
So I'm part of that.
Or
Two
sleep.
ways to-
Or sleep.
I'm a cheerleader.
Took a nap and wake up.
Very awesome.
We're playing D&D.
Shit, sir. Thank you, Dave. I do want to say thank you, Dave, for having us on. I know, totally.
And Mr. Leonidas, do you have any blog or social media feed that you post your research or information?
You can find me on Twitter at Bringer of Spears, King Leonidas. That's my main account. As far as like, basically, I'm just gonna spit out what these guys were saying. Cruising with Steak, The Hive, Nox Mente. Check them out. Really good shows. But yeah, me personally, like if you want to reach me, like I'm on Twitter at Bringer of Spears.
All right, right on, guys. Thanks again, and got to do this again very soon.
Definitely.
Thanks, Dave. Definitely.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, dude.
All right. You guys have a good night.
Totally.
You too.
And that's my end of the portion of the show.
Beautiful.
Leo, how come you never plug your?
What the fuck? I'm plugging it in the chat.
Dude, what the hell?
You had
Fuck. You sat through telling me all this shit that you have on the YouTube thing, and you don't even say shit about it.
You never do. Humble.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I try to stay humble. I know.
I don't want to advertise.
I know. I just feel like a piece of shit.
You get over it.
Oh man,
here's the thing. This is how you're not. This is how you're not. This is how you're not a piece of shit. You aren't making people pay you money to listen to your words.
That's right.
That's right.
So you're not a piece of shit. You're just passing.
That's true. That's true. But
hey, that's how I feel. That's how I got over doing that.
I don't like. I feel like it's like what I do like is like off topic. Like it's not really
apropos.
Like what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's all off topic, man.
Exactly. That's the thing. Everybody's dude. James will devolve into WWE wrestling for like a half hour in all our podcasts. Everything.
I'm so over
it. This wrestling, he'll just go into it with whoever's on. And everybody likes wrestling for some reason. I don't get it.
I know. I don't get that either. It's so fucking
weird.
Popular right now. And I remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, I was so into that shit. I probably went to like 3 of those things. And I met some wrestlers actually here in town. They were coming through, going to Sacramento to Arco. But yeah, I mean, that was like years ago. And right now, you would think nobody wants to see that shit anymore. It's so fucking phony, right?
It's huge.
It's amazing, It's just crazy.
It's huge.
It is weird. Like
she said.
A lot of the like the podcasts I've been listening to lately have dive into like the wrestling realm. Like I know it's just weird. Like it's like there's a subject matter that just gets passed along all these different networks and podcasts like in the same time period. It's weird. When you bring up like wrestling and stuff, it's like every podcast I listen to, they have they talk about wrestling in some aspect.
It comes up.
Yeah, it is. It's weird.
It's a guy thing.
Oh man, there's all kinds of girls involved in it too. I mean, you'll see everyone's into this. It's not even little kids. Like
I can't fucking stand it.
I can tell you,
grown adults. It's crazy.
I don't watch wrestling no more, but when I was
behavior that we reinforce by letting people buy tickets to go see it.
Like when I was a kid,
watch this guy beat up another guy.
Like we used to have like hardcore, like WWF in your house. Like we used to cook out. We used to watch these. Like I remember, like what was it?
It's like home tailgating, right?
Bret Hart versus what's his fucking name? Shawn Michaels. That was like the huge fucking thing. I remember that at WrestleMania, man. That shit was fucking massive. Like as a kid, that just captivated me.
Oh man, what about Hulk Hogan and Mr. T?
Oh yeah. I mean, stuff like that. It's just.
Or Roddy Piper. I mean, that's when I love wrestling.
Where do you think Roddy Piper is right now?
Dead.
He's about 6 feet underground.
No, I mean, like, where do you think his consciousness is? Do you think he's come back?
I think he got stuck in that house that he did the TV show with, that the medium rather.
No, he couldn't have been stuck in that house.
Why not?
That was sticky.
It was like his ancestor or something in the fire. I forget. Fire.
The ultimate warrior.
Yeah, it was somebody was trying to tell him something.
He's worm food now.
Well, I know, but I mean, it's just his consciousness.
He went back to the cloud.
God.
What?
Worm
yeah,
food.
so I talking about things that have come up a lot recently. They Live has come up a bunch.
It's been coming up for like over a year.
It's been peaking
all the time.
So, what I find interesting though is that in the let's say the Galactic Federation entrained individuals that we follow here and there all seem to think that the veils are lifting, and
we tune our ear into.
I've heard a few people discuss a frequency fence that's broadcast from the moon that's possibly causing this quote unquote veil. that's not unlike exactly what happens in They Live. You know, they take down the
I thought it was the towers that were
but there's broadcast
shooting the frequency.
that's yes, but it's broadcast frequency, it's terrestrial based, right? But the idea, I'm not talking about the technical details. The fact that they're broadcasting a beam and everyone's entranced and can't see these other things.
So it's being broadcast from the moon. You're saying
exactly.
But in that movie,
the moon's not doing that to us.
In the movie, they live at the very end. Wasn't that? I'm trying to remember. Wasn't it like a spaceship?
Wait, what if the sun? Wait. What if the sunlight was somehow transformed, changed, altered as it reflected off of or through the moon back at us in a negative way? That's one thing to think about. Anyway,
because I don't think the moon
exists.
I don't think the moon projects the sunlight. It's got its own light.
Right, but what if that light is causing us to not see past infrared or whatever? What if it's the moon's
influence? I think they fucked with our DNA.
Okay,
sorry,
it doesn't matter about the reality
totally
of
mad.
it. I'm not discussing. I'm just bringing up the fact that there's a correlation between the narrative
you're talking
and the
theories.
channel. There's a narrative in the fucking channelings that everyone's getting that matches a movie from 30 years ago.
Okay, you know where your statement just totally broke down, or your theory, or whatever?
Not a theory.
When you said channeling.
The information is coming from somewhere.
Okay.
Even
right? Where is it coming from?
Even if they fucking made it up, it doesn't matter. Okay, there's a correlation there.
The moon is acting like a filter.
Yeah, but all it is
visible
it's
light.
just like a recycle system.
Doesn't matter. That's not the. Okay, never mind.
Could it be predictive programming, Jerry?
I don't know. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Could be.
It's like people are recycling the same information.
Or there's something else going on.
Well, it's a loop.
Or we all died in the 80s and we're all actually dead.
No, maybe. Okay.
We're not dead.
Look. Man. First of all, you're getting too far in the weeds.
I thought that was 2012.
The whole thing is that there's a correlation between.
We died 2012 too.
You've got something broadcasting a signal which is blinding people from reality, regardless of where it comes from, on radio towers or from the moon. It's the same
sorry.
idea,
I get it now.
Thank
sorry.
You. Now, with that in mind, whether or not it's possible is irrelevant. It's just there's a correlation there.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. And
sorry, I didn't understand.
The people who are entrained or tuned into this energy and they're getting this information, if they're not just making it up, they're all getting the same information or similar, which is similar to a movie from years ago. And I find that interesting when I find correlations like that. That's all.
Well, did you see that I posted in that book? It said that what was it? That the sun was the all-seeing eye, and then the Jewish people replaced it. Wait, the sun was something about the sun.
I didn't see it.
And then the Jewish people replaced the sun with the all-seeing eye. So,
well, I've heard that one lady was talking the other day. I don't remember her name, but how the human chakras have been altered. Your heart chakra is supposed to be your sun chakra, but actually it's really the moon. And the heart chakra became the moon chakra, and the sun is with the solar plexus. The next one down. It got pushed down.
That's what if the sun is like just a tiny pinhole through the veil that...
Right. Well, the sun allegedly, or in this line of thinking, the sun is your exit. It's where your soul should go to go back wherever you fucking go, if it goes anywhere. You know, that's where you go. But because of the misalignment of the chakras, no one can go. They're kind of trapped in this loop.
But the only thing that we can see, that we can perceive with our eyes, is what the sun, the photons, right? It's what light bounces off objects that we can see. So what if, like, the feelings that we feel, like the intuition that we feel, is essentially the dark matter that they talk about, the other side that we can't see? the photons,
which I don't think is
never
dark
interact.
at all.
But just
Right,
because we
that's
doesn't
oxymoron.
see it, just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Well, no, I know, but it's just like we can't see the wind, but we know it's there.
We feel it.
Feel it.
I've seen the wind.
It.
You can see it when there's
Isn't there a song?
when there's dust in it.
The wind.
What's that? What's that Bob Seger song? The wind. What's that? Race the wind, right? Race the wind.
Oh my god.
Bob Seger. Something wind.
See, okay. So here is exactly what Dave's whole thing was about what the brain puts in.
Against the wind.
Right, against the wind. So, you know, like I automatically think of like, isn't there a song? Like, shit, you recall like. Ah, it's so weird. There's so many programming. I don't even know if you call it just programming. It's just life stuff you pick up in life and that you retain. And what you retain is really weird because two people wouldn't retain the same thing. You know what I mean? Or did I lose everyone?
Not two people could.
I want to say something, but I'm
like I feel like me and my brother, we've retained the same things from childhood that we could reminisce on.
Oh, you totally could retain the same thing, but I'm saying it like that's not a necessary thing.
The same by all parties.
Right.
Okay.
It won't be remembered exactly the same.
Basic general idea, but the details are probably different.
Right. Just like police with witnesses and stuff like that. They always say, you know, human witnesses are terrible.
Yeah. How could travel ever work?
That's why we need androids and artificial intelligence.
Well, no,
we already have cameras everywhere
to keep us safe.
But that's my whole point is everybody's reality is really different.
I know.
Right?
Reality is subjective.
It is subjective.
Or at least the way we remember it. It might all happen the same.
That's definitely subjective.
Just sit and remember it, yeah.
The Mandela effect is a perfect example of how subjective memory is.
Exactly. What were you going to say, Dave, but you were afraid to say it?
No,
I mean...
Just say it. Say it.
No, I was trying to think of that about, you know, the information getting filled in, whether or not we do see the same thing or we are experiencing the same thing at the same time, or is it all different? And
I've actually read that like
never know.
People that grow up in the same area would have like the same type of a memory response, you know, which makes a lot of sense because you would have the same images, right? Does it all come down to images?
They certainly pick up the same vocal dialect, you know, sounds and quirks and whatnot.
And they describe, you know, things the same. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you know, there's songs people recognize.
I think consciousness is like a this is a giant circuit board, and you know, information flows like in a circuit board, and every single one of us we're like resistors on a circuit board. We take this information in, and we have a
fuck that. We are transceivers.
Output.
Transceivers
and transmuters.
Transistor.
We're transmuters. We take energy in and transmute it into other.
Well, I mean, yeah,
but I give energy off.
Plus,
and I think like our consciousness is what completes the circuit board. I think it's what.
I think it's our data feed. I think it's just our network connection.
I think it's the whole thing.
I think consciousness is just the network connection too.
But I mean,
why do you think they've been trying to figure it out for so long?
When you talk about like innovation and stuff, when you talk about stuff that's invented in progression in society and stuff, that's not something that's derived from individual thinking. That's something that's collectively gathered.
It's a machine learning pattern.
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like a circuit board type layout. I mean, you have
totally.
Everyone collectively comes in, and you know, everything. You have one mind that connects here. It completes the circuit, right? So what comes in, what goes out, and I think that's what essentially what we are. Is we are collectively a giant fucking circuit board.
But that goes against our possible every idea exists in the cloud theory. You just have to tune into it.
Well, that can mean that anything is a topa.
True.
So technically, the cryptocurrency is a topa.
No, it's not a tulpa. It does exist. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe
it's a very strong thought form. I will give you that. I bet it has rivers in its astral plane. There's fucking rivers of money or something. I don't know. You know,
Cryptocurrency is an idea.
It is an idea. It's a concept, and there's energy being put into it. Therefore, it exists in a higher plane as an energetic form. So yeah, and if you look at a tulpa model where you have Tibetan monks who can meditate and manifest a person that they visualize, physically manifest this guy, that I believe can interact with other people. So whatever that is, I don't know, but that's what a tulpa is. This manifest thing. That's what I think Slender Man is, or the ones that people see. Possibly the Dog Man.
I agree with that.
Enough people believe it and put energy into it. Look up. I think it.
That's what my point was earlier.
I know, or I don't know.
Okay,
I don't remember. But yeah, you're right.
I don't know if Dogman so much as a tulpa. I think Dogman is a cryptid.
Maybe, but what is a cryptid? You know, what is a cryptid? If it turns out that we've yet to find evidence of these things, physical evidence of them.
I would be interested to see like the data, right? To the data between when you plot the points of like the data of sightings and compare that to like over time and versus like, for an example, like WebBot data information of
there's a map,
these particular entities being discussed over time, and kind of correlate that information and see if when you see the rise of people discussing about a particular thing like Dogman and compare and contrast like how many sightings over a period of time it increases. So I mean that would kind of prove that, you know,
what would you imagine that the map would look like?
I think he just wants to see if there's any patterns.
No, I know what he's asking.
What if they make a giant
saying?
What if they make a pentagram? What would that mean?
No,
or a zodiac.
They're in clusters, which means what? People are talking about it, which means what? Could it be shit people are front loading themselves to see?
Or it's putting enough energy into the field to attract it. You look at it both ways.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
People are,
well, I mean, obviously, we can't physically prove that Dogman exists. We can't physically prove that Bigfoot exists.
You need a body.
We don't have physical evidence. We have individual sightings, interactions, experiences with these particular entities.
Wait, aren't people put in jail just by witness testimony?
What if Mothman
my question is
a skinwalker?
It could be. But my question is, like, if you plot the points, if you have the data, like, okay, this particular site has had these X amount of reports over a period of time, versus you have a different graph that shows, okay, this is the how many sightings were reported over a period of time, and you kind of look at those two particular data points and see if there's any, like, as that information or data is discussed over a period of time, if you start to see an increase of these sightings,
I've talked to someone,
which would essentially prove that if it is a tulpa, then this would prove that it's a tulpa.
I just talked to somebody who has exactly what you're talking about. Jeff Crypto Hulk Stewart, who was just on my show.
Crypto Hulk?
Absolutely.
That was a good show.
He was awesome. It was a really good show.
Is there a Crypto She-Hulk?
He has that data where the Bigfoot sightings is on one map. Then there's the sightings of all, not sightings, but the data of hogs, wild boars, hogs, whatever you want to call it, the population, and when you put these two and you overlay them and you put one on top of the other, they're almost identical.
Wow.
So there's some data right there.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Was hogs and what was it? Other animal?
It was like one map of wild hogs, the population, where you would see them at all over, scattered.
Migratory patterns.
Then you have the Bigfoot sightings that were reported from one, time period to another. Boom, you overlay them, put them on top of each other, and they match.
Do pigs eat other animal shit?
Or maybe the Bigfoot follow the food.
Maybe they eat the hogs.
Exactly.
Their primary source of protein.
Which also proves that they're not just vegetarians.
And it's an unmonitored population. No one knows really how many exactly there are.
Mm-hmm.
They could actually be raising. We could be Bigfoot's farmer land. Think about it.
Well, I know that Mike from OBDM, Our Big Dumb Mouth, he is compiling a database of. He's taken all these
Missing
cases
411?
from Missing 411, and he's plotting them through these databases to kind of see if there's a way to predict, basically kind of predict like another missing person, like a different area, or predictive analysis per se, based on the current data points that you have, based on the missing 411 cases, which I find very interesting, because if that's something that you can analyze, like this type of data, because obviously the national parks are not keeping this information within their own system. So really it's up to us to build this system, to kind of project and predict what would be the next. I don't know if I want to say like next location, or maybe like next, like hot zones, like in these particular areas, I guess.
This is like forensics. I mean, totally.
Yeah.
Like investigation, looking for. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, that would be great. I never thought about that. I mean, to predict where they're actually going to be, strike next, that kind of thing.
Not strike.
Everything's got patterns.
What has Bigfoot ever done that the law?
Well, I mean, it's like the Mothman.
No.
It's like the Mothman side.
If you're talking
right?
David Pilates, he's talking, missing, people.
I thought you said he was a dick.
Well, that's beside the point.
Okay.
Well, he's okay, but his research is valid. Like, he does good research.
And he's not a dick. We're kidding.
Right. Well, I never met him personally, so
I mean,
me neither. I can't say that.
I mean, he could be a dick.
That might have been a bad day. I don't know.
He was a cop.
We'll find out.
He was a cop. Just put it that way. He used to be a cop.
Yeah. Boom.
I mean, he probably hears the same shit every time he goes to these conventions. Everyone comes up to him, says the same shit over and over and over.
He's like, buy my book.
He's just like,
buy my
book, dude. I don't care. Just buy my book.
Because he doesn't want to hear everyone's stories. I would be the exact same way. I would be.
I think people bug him all the time. Like, okay, so you never talk about
TLDR, dude. Tell me about it.
What
you don't come out in the public.
Jerry, you're telling me a lot of people don't come up and approach you about JavaScript?
Not anymore. And I've been on book tours.
Teach me how to Java, Jerry.
Teach me how to JavaScript.
No, but you
know what's funny is, like, right now in my job, I am doing JavaScript, like professional.
Oh man,
I don't mind.
Wouldn't you guys agree though? If you're a public figure, don't you have some sort of responsibility to be somewhat human when people come up to you and ask you a question instead of being a total asshole?
I'm a podcaster, and I would love if people came up to me and just asked me anything, or even just talk shit to me. Just approach.
Don't you have email for that?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that would depend on how many like conventions you go to and how many people you interact with.
Don't go no more. You know what I mean?
I think it's more about
anymore.
I don't think he's doing this to
I'm ghetto, bro.
to make a lot of money. I think he's putting the research out there because he wants to justify his opinion, what he thinks is going on. So he's collecting everyone else's opinions of what based on what they gather from the research that he's done in these books. Because he can't just come out and say, "Well, this is what I think," because then that would kind of disrupt his relationships with these families and these people who have had this tragic incident happen to them where a family member gets taken and they don't have a resolution, don't have a resolve to what happened. And I think he does that. I think he's smart by doing that because you don't want to tip over into the other side of, well, Bigfoot, it's Bigfoot, or it's Mothman, or it's that guy. That guy is taking everybody.
What's up, people?
Guy.
How's it going, that guy?
It's going very swell. How is everybody?
I'm Dave, by the way, man.
Hey, Dave.
How's Mrs. That guy?
I'm that guy.
Right on.
How's Mrs. That guy?
As in that guy that usually goes too far.
I'm muted. Or do you not go far enough? Or do you not go far enough, sir?
I could be that guy.
You should talk to Mrs. That guy. I think she might disagree with you. She's upstairs watching the last of the Meghan Markle and Prince Harry wedding.
Oh, God.
Why?
I'm so glad I didn't.
I don't know.
Does it get her panties all wet?
I do have to say, I was pretty impressed with the Chicago preacher she brought in.
Your wife?
He did a good.
Your wife?
What can I say?
I'm lost.
He's legit. 2 random ass people got married in England today. So
there it is.
It was just streamed on YouTube.
I heard something about he gave up his seat to be the king or something like that.
No, he didn't give it up. No, he never had one.
Harry's going to get this.
Okay, so line of succession. I'm the last guy to be asking about this kind of stuff, right? But line of succession is it's Liz is in it now.
I've been muted this entire time and making all this witty banter. God damn it!
Don't you hate that when you're not? And the worst part is because nobody's laughing. They turn it on, you say it again.
Exactly. And nobody's, I'm like, man, I'm dying over here.
But then nobody will laugh again, and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Let's let it go. Hi, that guy.
Hey.
That's
What's in the vape tonight, Jerry?
What's that, sir?
What's in the vape tonight?
We're vaping homemade fairy tears.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh, fairy tears. Do they give you like a +2 to Dex or something when you vape it?
+2 to my tears. They heal at a +2.
Nice.
E&D reference.
I'm like a phoenix.
Nice.
I like that.
Phoenix tears.
Clearly, it's not charisma that it's enhancing.
Not at all. I'm I've got a face for radio. What can I say?
Yeah, I got a voice for newsprint.
Yeah. No one knows who's going to be king. The leading theory is that Charles will be passed over in favor of William.
I don't think Charles is going to make it.
Yeah, I think it will.
Now, see, the thing was with Harry was that so Charles is first in line after Liz, and then it was William, and then if something happens to William, it was supposed to go to Harry. But now that Harry is married to some DFA,
what's DFA?
He can't. The Parliament won't take it. So
what's
I
DFA?
guess it goes. Dumb effing American. That's my.
She's American? Is that what's going? I don't know anything about this. I have no idea.
Yeah. She's an actor. She's an American actor.
Well, aren't they all?
Do you not watch what is it? Suits? You don't watch Suits on USA?
Do not watch it.
I heard that's a good show. I've never had a chance to catch it, but I heard it's pretty good.
I am deathly allergic to advertising.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So this isn't so much advertising. This is this is a.
Is that your 3D printer, or is that your
dot matrix printer?
Making that? Oh, is your dot matrix printer going off right now? Something's buzzing. Oh, it's a 3D printer. Something's buzzing. No. Or is it a wire that you have activated?
Wiggle your knob, dude. No, like Your headphone
No,
jack.
That sounded wrong.
Like your headphone jack. Like,
Oh, this knob. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, right. Wiggle knob.
Wiggle your jack. Jack your wiggle.
I honestly think that worked when you smacked it.
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't hear it anymore.
I got to get out of this thinking pattern because I'm just hearing a lot of innuendos.
There was no innuendo in there at all.
Uh-oh.
Every time I hit stuff, it starts working again.
Check him out.
Oh, is that you?
His mouth is open a perfect amount of distance.
No, I'm just saying I always hit stuff. Make it work.
Jukeboxes. Hey.
Oh my God!
Wow. Does work.
All right, I think you're back, Nick.
Okay. I've been hearing complaints on Skype meetings about this, about a buzz coming from the microphone.
Because you're using your microphone in your laptop or your computer or something, right?
Something's bugged out.
It's a
you got a buzz.
It's a manufacturer.
No,
OEM
it's cheap
microphone.
Japanese crap cables. I won't get off my wall.
Could be.
No. What's the microphone? Is
Sounds like a dot matrix printer.
Oh no! My microphone is a CAD mic. Here, look. I bought it at the pawn shop.
Well, that's not going to cause any kind of interference.
It's a frequency interference.
Yeah, it's something like a phone nearby or something.
Yeah,
like noise or something. Is it me?
Right.
It could be you. It could be you. This is the.
Hang on, let's try this. I'm going to unplug it.
Is a kingdom. It could be you. So.
Is your refrigerator running by now?
You did just get back from Russia, didn't you?
No, Colombia.
Poland.
That was.
Oh yeah,
Poland. Poland stuff. Yeah. All that Chopin vodka that I've been pouring.
Were you over there when Max Spears was killed?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't there. No, that was in Prague.
How do we know he even died?
How do we know he even existed?
How do we know he was even real? Exactly.
We saw pictures of him.
Exactly.
I don't know.
What?
I know. I'm just.
He's not back yet. You know, Jason Louv though. Have you seen? He's got his big face everywhere lately.
Yes.
He looks just like Mark Ruffalo.
He does. He does.
Oh, you posted that, didn't you?
No. Did I?
I saw someone post.
He goes around a lot. Yeah.
Maybe I did. I don't remember, but I just noticed it the other day.
That's funny. I actually like Mark Ruffalo though. He's a good actor.
I did too until he started being a liberal dickhead.
Yeah, I got two.
You're repeating yourself, Jerry.
I know.
I think they get kickbacks for that.
The MI5 construct, J.K. Rowling has been trolling Donald Trump.
Oh, what? Geez. I mean, what's she saying?
I mean, she does that quite often, doesn't she?
I guess Trump compared his inauguration to the royal wedding.
I was your Stormy Daniels. God damn it! Stop telling people I wasn't.
I got your storm, lady. Wait, it's playing ads on me.
Storm's happening. Boom.
All I could say, all I have to say is Trump is a pimp.
Pimp daddy.
Fat pimp.
Totally.
He's a pimp master.
So you
right?
Because he keeps his pimp hand strong.
Strong.
I heard something on Tinfoil Hat the other day, and it got me thinking a little bit. They did an episode on Q Anonymous, and the guy that they had on. He was talking about I think it was the praying medic. He was talking about how Trump, always has nicknames, always talks shit about people, but he's never said a word about Mueller. Like he's never said one bad thing about him or like anything at all. And then he's going on about how Mueller's secretly, he's been sick of seeing all this shit that's gone on in the administrations that he previously worked in. And Trump was like, I'm going to exonerate you. You're going to be free of all of it if you can help me take these motherfuckers down. And dude, it got me thinking. It's like, it's true how Trump publicly attacks everybody. Like, he has never made a nickname, never said a word about Mueller. So I don't know, man. There might be something to that.
It depends on what's in the IG report. Everything hinges on the IG report right now. Because if the IG comes out and says, DOJ, FBI were colluded or whatever, if they're referred for criminal activity and nothing happens, there's going to be trouble.
But
like people with pitchforks and torches in the street type of trouble.
It would make sense with just the Stormy Daniels thing would just be like a major distraction away from all that, because this is like
people cannot control their anger over the situation, which doesn't affect them in any way whatsoever, right? Or the presidency, but they've somehow managed to get worked up into tizzy fit about it, and that's blinding them from acting on what the real issue.
The thing about the torches and pitchforks thing, though, is but there has to be some kind of there has to be some kind of either event or person or message that all of the vitriol and hatred and upset has to nucleize on before it can actually take root, right?
Maybe
there has to be something that kicks it off. And whether that's somebody, sponsoring people to go, or a group of people, getting out and banging the drums and somehow goading people into showing up, it's going to take a specific event. I mean, it may be that is the cause celeb that everybody's after, but somebody's got to drive it, and because it won't.
I don't think
that's why I think you're wrong. Like, with Blue Beam Jesus,
I don't think there's going to be like any pitchforks because
Blue Beam Jesus.
If people at the local level, these local extremely corrupt fucking governments at the local level, if they don't uprise and take control at that point, what makes you think they're going to do it at a national level?
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. Here's a national level example.
Go ahead,
Yesterday or the day before, whoever it is, the judge unsealed Anthony Weiner's evidence that had previously been sealed, that had been taken, during that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Which was never in the possession of the NYPD, which means all those stories about the NYPD having his laptop with this insurance file and it's going to be damning and all that shit, all bullshit. It's not true. So they never had the damn thing. And on top of that, there's no fucking laptop in that evidence. So all that Weiner's laptop stuff is like not true.
Well, that's unless somebody went in and
exactly, which is kind of the point, because a third party was the what am I looking for the word there? The holder of the. In the meantime, the go-between, it starts with an E, the word I'm thinking of. Whatever, you know what I'm saying, right? They were
escrow.
Escrow, thank you. They held it in escrow. The evidence was held in escrow by the security company. That's their job. So who knows?
So there's the other take on that was that actually it was held by NYPD. I don't know this. I'm just saying that
removed from the chain of custody.
And that there were a lot of people that were somehow engaged in that process of handling it, moving it, transporting it, securing it, and getting it checked in as evidence.
And getting it hidden or sealed.
Yeah.
Right. I know. That's my point.
Of it and so on.
There's chicanery all along the way. It can't be trusted.
You ever watch any cop movie?
I forgot what my point was. Oh, damn.
I was thinking of that word today, Jerry.
Oh, I remember. So we were talking about distraction and causing issues for the greater public, right? So that came out. That's pretty damning news, right? So how did it wasn't reported anywhere because there was a school shooting.
Of course.
And that's not all that happened this week that should be in the news and that should be informing people. There's always a distraction that's a crisis or emotionally painful. It makes you want to keep. I gotta find out what happened. I need to find out.
That damn volcano in Hawaii is distraction,
folks.
Yeah, thanks, Obama.
Where's my hope? I got a hope.
That's where he's been.
The pyroclastic president.
Look up UAP, Jerry. UAP.
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
No, it's just it's a YouTube channel.
No, I was gonna play my folks live video first.
He's the one that's
UAP. I don't like that.
He's the one that's saying the volcanoes are hoax. I don't like him either.
I'll look him up. I want to play my
He's
video.
Crazy.
Hula hoax.
Oh yeah, I saw that too the other day when I was.
How can you not click, right?
Yeah.
Lava's a hoax. You're like, what the fuck? Really? Does this person really think that?
No, he's a troll.
Volcano Island's on fire, goddammit.
Just posts data. He just yells. He's like, dude, like seriously, like fucking let's be real. But then he'll just move on to something else. Like he doesn't do it.
The ass kicker is the big joke is, buy land because nobody's making any more of it. Well, clearly people are wrong.
Clearly they're wrong. And that is what I said. I said, maybe this whole, Antarctica conspiracy, the wall, they're hiding more land. Maybe this is the answer to all that energy of they're hiding more land, is that they're creating more land.
I know, right?
Yeah. Could be. Never know.
Yep. Well, sometimes Well, this isn't one of those times.
But,
No,
it could be an unknown known or an unknown unknown.
Are you Suzanne Rumsfeld? Is that?
We lost $2.3 trillion.
Well,
also, what's his face said it?
Oh shit! There's an airplane in my office.
What's the amount that they just came out and
Shut up.
for right now?
$2.3 trillion, and oh shit! There's an airplane in my office.
It wasn't an airplane. It was a fucking cruise missile.
Well, but they just
I looked
said
at
it
it.
again.
It looked like what they did is they crashed a Global Hawk into it.
Dude, it was a couple weeks ago. They just came out and said that the
total missile.
Pentagon
It wasn't a 757. That's all I know.
No, it definitely was not a 757.
Fuck no.
Not even a chance.
Flight number 33 or 77 or whatever the fuck it was.
11.
So,
No
quick
shit.
question.
93.
Absolutely nothing. Dave, where did you come from, man?
The ether.
The ether. I like that.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Dude, that's what I said on the interview I think I had with Off Planet. They asked me about me. So what's your story? Oh, I was born a poor black child.
One of the greatest opening lines ever.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm one. I guess way back when Jerry and Grimm and James Cruz and I and a couple other people, we used to hang out on Twitter, and I guess we used to listen to an old radio show that's still on the air.
An old radio show?
Fade to Black, Jimmy Church.
I was
Go back like that, babe.
Fade to Black, but I wasn't in that clique. I wish I was.
You guys in the chat room.
Oh, I'm sorry, Grimm. I don't want to put. I didn't mean to put you in that, but anyways, yeah, we all kind of Twitter buddies.
Cool. No, I was curious if you were related to James.
Dude, I thought they were brothers. And James, quit doxing him. James,
You two don't look a thing alike, by the way. I'm just saying.
James
And,
let me.
and good for you.
James let me believe that they were related for the longest time.
You guys seeing this?
Yeah, no.
That freaking guy. Yeah, Pentagon can't account for 20 trillion.
What is
Not
that?
a typo.
Where's that coming
Yeah,
from?
who is that?
What happened?
21 trillion.
Grim.
That's
Grim.
Iron Balls McGinty.
That's when Chrome is using too much of your CPU.
So, who came out with that figure not too long ago? Alana.
Oh no, that was Rumsfeld declared it on like September 10th, and they were supposed to start the investigation on September 11th, 2001.
Declared like 8 billion.
Yeah, this was 5 days ago.
Oh, there was more than 8 billion, 8 trillion.
Yeah.
Oh, there's much more.
It's 21.
Yeah, it was trillion, right?
It's 21 trillion right now.
Oh, back then it was like 3 trillion.
Yeah, it's up to
Doesn't that,
21.
really
doesn't
8
that-
trillion.
doesn't that tie into the IMF, the
International
The
Monetary
SDR?
Fund? Yes.
public
Petrodollar.
I
trust?
found so much stuff going looking through the IMF. Oh my God, World War II. Fuck.
See, I think they either need to bring the corruption to a halt or let me in on it.
Right? Motherfuckers.
I know, right?
Oh, no.
God. This is bullshit.
God.
Like, we're smart enough.
Well, just sign an NDA and then go out and do protests. Here you go.
I'm too
Well, guys,
lazy.
I'm going to go ahead and head out here. Again, thanks a lot for joining me tonight. It was great.
Dude, you're going to leave us hanging? Seriously?
Thanks, Dave.
Dude, we're so frustrated.
Oh,
All right.
We'll
Good
work
times.
it out.
We'll do it
Thanks,
again.
Dave. Appreciate it.
Thanks, dude.
Jerry's going to sprain a bicep.
Tricep, baby. Tricep. All in the tricep.
There it is. He knows.
Have a
Right
good
on.
night.
Nice meeting you guys. That guy,
Take care.
Leonidas. Thanks again.
Peace out, Dave.
See y'all later.
Yeah, nice talking
Be
to you.
well,
man.
sir.
Take care.
It's that awkward
right,
3
Leonidas,
seconds
what's
while
up?
you're trying to find the button to leave the fucking meeting and you don't want to. Can't wait to get. I cannot wait to get out of the meeting.
Leonidas, what's up, Bish?
Hey, what's up?
Bay. They call each other Bay in our chats.
You guys are so gay. Come on, just get a room.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
We've got one. It's right here.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
brings new meaning to Netflix and chill.
How you been, Suzanne? It's been a long time. What's going on?
I know. What are you doing, dude? I never see you in the chats. She got you tied up, Mrs.
God.
That guy got you tied to the bed.
It's so it's one goddamn thing after another. It's broken tractor, ordering parts. It's the freaking well goes offline. I have to go to.
Oh yeah, you posted well pics that
someplace.
Didn't you have a wife for that crap?
No.
I'm just kidding. I grew up on a ranch. I know.
She can hear you.
I'm totally on her side. It was a total joke.
Side of the camera.
But I'm literally serious. It was a total joke.
serious.
No, you can't imagine the shit my mom and my sisters and I had to do when my dad was flying.
Oh yeah.
Like, we had a ranch. He was gone. We were like, son of a bitch, motherfucker, flies off, and we're stuck here.
So last time I was in Poland, right? This was in I guess February or something. I don't remember what it was. I lose track of the days. And I'm talking to Mrs. That Guy on a video chat on Google Hangouts, and she's like, "Yeah, well, the water's off." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Oh my god!
The wire's on the well pump, and I said, "Was it cold last night?" She says, "Yeah, it froze." And I'm like, "Oh well, shit." So I had to talk her through taking the electric kettle out to the wellhead and taking the screws off of the cap on the well and boiling snow into boiling water and pouring it on a fitting. I'm like, holy shit. I hope this works or she's going to kill me when I get back. So, but
it didn't sound like she was very mad to begin with. I would have been like, you son of a bitch, the fucking water's no.
Yep. And she knows my mom too, so
Do you have any?
Well, you got to teach her those things before you leave.
Do you have any new 3D projects you're working on?
Any new 3D projects? Well, I'll show you one. It's not quite there. We do.
What a man of mystery.
He's working on these killer drones.
We do these things. We volunteer for a local food collection co-op thing. It's not really canned foods, but there's a lot of agriculture around here, so we collect fruits and vegetables and stuff like that from people's gardens. They call it backyard harvest, and
cool.
We're trying to help people be self-sufficient. So we're finding ways for people to grow their own food in smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller spaces. So one of the things that we found about a year ago was ways to use shipping pallets for either herb and vegetable gardens, or to cut them up and use them as a boundary around a raised bed. You fill the thing up with dirt. And trying to describe it to people is kind of tedious. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So what I did is I made some. I made a 3D model of some pallets, and I sawed one of them in half, and I made a little model of a pallet. Right. So
cool.
Yeah. So there's that, and I put one together.
You look like a super nerd.
Totally. And so
who would have thought he was into helping people grow their own food and stuff?
Yeah,
that's a nice
Not
model.
me. I thought he was like an international man of mystery.
Got the lichen in there
on a submarine somewhere, looking at shoes.
Did you glue ballast?
What's that?
Is that like flock? Did you flock that?
Flocked?
Flocked?
No. I laid down a thick coat of clear lacquer and sprinkled sand on it, and then I sprayed it with 2 different kinds of brown and some black. And
nice.
so I made a little pallet garden.
That's awesome. Do you do that often? Make those types of surface features?
No, not so much. Not so much.
Because you can buy sand with those colors in it at the modeling store.
No, this was fine. I had some sand for another project. I made the tape dispenser, and I needed some weight, so I went and bought a thing of sand.
Sand makes an excellent counterweight.
It does.
Cool. It totally does.
It was either that or birdshot, and I kind of wanted the birdshot for the pheasants, but so so that was my latest 3D printing project.
Oh,
Nice. Yeah. So we have this farmers market, and I don't know what your experience for. Hang on a second, Grace, don't eat your sister.
We have a good farmers market here. We're in Davis. We're UC Davis here, so we have a good farmers market.
Oh yeah.
Are you close to the college there?
Yeah,
because they have a really good farmers. They have a huge farmers market, from what I saw.
Yeah, our farmers market here at Moscow it takes up like 2.5 blocks of Main Street, and it's not like the typical farmers market around SoCal, where everything is like the easy ups and little tchotchkes made by SJWs, and your average like the Democrat Party anti-gun bullshit, and stuff, and buy a pin.
Right.
Tell us how you really
This is an actual and the occasional.
But Northern California farmers markets are not like Southern California at all.
No, that's true.
So
that's true. They're better. The one that happens in Santa Rosa is actually pretty good.
Santa Rosa, yeah,
it's pretty impressive. So, but the one here is it's like an outdoor. It's like an outdoor supermarket. I mean, there's that many different kinds of things. We've got people that do pasture-fed pork, and people will bring. There's a few places that do a couple of places that do cheese, make their own cheese from goats and sheep and cows and stuff around here. It's a very impressive farmers market.
Can we make other things than cheese from those beings, from those animals?
You can make milk. I mean, they give milk.
Make like steaks.
Goat milk.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can eat them.
You can buy lambs or sides of beef and all that stuff. Yeah, totally. Yeah, you get the whole thing here, and you can
have
buy
kebabs.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then there's a few restaurants and stuff like that. Not, I guess they're restaurants. They're like catering companies.
So you're in like the perfect location for when shit hits the fan, or what's the other acronym from the Navy?
The end of the world as we know it.
Let's go glass half full and say if shit hits the fan.
September 23rd.
Right. If shit hits the fan, you are in a sustainable community.
Oh, totally.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, not from the government Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, that type of, not their definition of sustainable city.
Well, first off, if anybody tries to do Agenda 21 bullshit up here, they're going to be sorely disappointed.
It's too many people with guns.
Yeah. There's people refer to this place as the American Redoubt. It's like
nice.
the place where it's like the last.
The real Americans are right, the last standouts.
But it's
because that's what real Americans were.
Yeah, there were a bunch of grandstanding jackasses that started up in this place, but it kind of became
politics.
It became different.
But the people came here to start a new life. So many farmers and
yeah.
You know
what I'm very surprised by is that there's awful lot of old sailors up here. There's an awful lot of, and we're completely landlocked.
I'm not surprised.
You don't like an abundance of semen?
Weird. Oh, I get it. Like seaman.
Are they the nuke guys that were there for nuke training?
No, they're actually.
Steve loved Idaho.
Yeah, there's a submarine base up in.
I bet there's all that semen.
Lake Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
No, it's not Coeur d'Alene. It's Ponderay, Lake Ponderay, up by Sandpoint. They have a miniature submarine that they use for, I don't know, random ass.
Yeah, actually, they don't. I guess they don't have the nuke school there anymore, but they used to. The town started with a P.
Pocatello.
That you lived in? Pocatello, yeah.
Yeah, that's by INL, Idaho National Labs. They have a.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They do a lot of nuclear power there. They don't do so much in the way of weapons. It's all nuclear power.
Right.
Another hoax.
Weapon stuff happens in
well, Steve told me this. The map
Washington
made sense.
Northwest
So
I went to the
More fake
right,
shit.
exactly.
Nukes, fake hoax.
The farmers market here was all crafts. I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah, people making shit out of popsicle sticks and
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a farmer's market. That's a craft fair.
I
Well,
know.
that's what I said.
This is my point. This is what you get in San Diego.
Crap fairs.
Oh, you're right. Steve's dad said miles and miles of useless shit.
You get some douchebag with a camera that's
a flea market.
like $4,000, and he goes out and he makes pictures of like fire plugs.
I was looking.
He's got a booth of fire plug pictures.
I was looking for morels. I couldn't find any this year.
Some people like them.
Dude.
You got to go to the factory store.
Wait.
Steve just got some.
We're up to frickin' here in Morels.
Wait, let me tell you a story here. Apparently,
I love morels.
this dude on Facebook had posted a picture of himself cooking and eating morels that they picked out in the forest. They foraged.
And the cops came and knocked on his door.
Yes.
Yeah, I seen that article. What the hell?
They I don't think they arrested him, but they hassled him because they did not believe that
They questioned him. Yeah.
the mushrooms he ate were not psychedelic mushrooms. They were not convinced.
Wow.
Yeah. So someone on Facebook reported him, or Facebook somehow those
And he
cops
was an
were
idiot to
notified.
let him in his
I
house.
thought you were
Correct.
talking about the
For one.
shoes.
Well, that right there shows that you're innocent if you just nonchalantly, because the dudes are like, well, we didn't do anything wrong. Come on in. Like
Never do
that's,
that. Yeah.
So doing something in the open does not mean you're innocent.
Correct.
And for my evidence of this in my argument, I'll point to that chick that took a shit in the Tim Hortons
boom.
in front of the cash register. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Holy
I didn't
shit,
witness it.
so to speak.
Was it steamy?
So it didn't sit around that long. So what happened was she wanted to go to the bathroom. Apparently there's a key or something like that, like you get from a gas station, whatever. So she's asking to go to the bathroom. They won't let her do it. And she gets more and more and more and more agitated. And about 2/3 of the way through the video, she pulls her freaking yoga pants down, drops a steamer in the freaking right in front of the cash register.
So it was steamy.
And picks it up and throws it at the people in the back room. This is all in the security video. And she reaches over, she grabs some napkins, wipes her ass, and then throws that.
What the fuck was she on?
I don't.
Yeah, I seen that video too.
She really had to poop.
She needed to make room for her pancakes.
No, she had.
What causes someone to do that?
Poor parenting.
Obviously, she had to take a nap.
Poor parenting. Blame the parents.
There's no other explanation.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you have to take a dump,
there is.
you
Go
turn
outside.
into
You go shit in the kitchen. Do something.
What if she's fucking nuts? You shit wherever you fuck. Like if you
Why
don't know
didn't
where
she
you
shit in her
are.
pants then? See, by pulling her pants down, it makes it premeditated. Premeditated shitting.
Premeditated poop.
Maybe her monkey brain came out. She was just really mad at those people.
Defecation.
Assault with a steamy weapon.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh,
She was recalling her days in prison.
I'm sorry, but if someone throws poop at me,
you like it.
I
I
just
know.
black out and just cut their fucking head off.
I don't think she threw it.
You don't have flashback days, Liam.
He just said
It's
she
not a grenade.
threw it.
That is a short film.
I'm sorry.
He just said she picked it up and threw it at the people in the back.
That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
I don't know how I would react to that if someone threw shit on me.
Especially
I'd
if you
probably
didn't know it was
black
coming.
I start laughing at them, like,
no.
because I would be like, "What
No.
the fuck is
You
wrong
gotta
with
be
you?"
acting
Like,
I would run to the bathroom to get it washed off me. That's all I would do. And then go
I'll get
hide.
my,
of course, I would duck and it wouldn't hit me.
Just Matrix the poop.
Faster than that.
Right?
You'd be like
Bullet
George
time
Bush
it.
and that guy with the shoe.
Third time.
Turn
You know, the image of George in the shoes totally came to my mind too.
I don't know what that is.
That's probably my favorite George video. When he's
George who?
dodging the shoes.
Seriously, man. George Jr.'s got game.
George Costanza?
He totally does. And you know what? I saw a video of somebody who was following him around on one of the campaigns. I don't remember if it was for first or second term. He was actually a really likable person.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, he's a nice enough guy.
I just feel like I feel like he had to do shit that he didn't want to do.
I don't know. I think he was in with both feet.
Well, I think he was too, but
Who are you talking about?
GW.
GW
Dubs.
Oh, jeez.
Junior.
He had us all.
How could you not have known that?
Wait, who?
W.
W.
Oh, W.
Oh yeah, there we go. The shoe.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that happened
That
to
was
someone else.
fucking hilarious.
That happened
Yeah,
to-
it just happened to someone else recently too.
This dude got
Somebody
his
was
head cut
throwing their
off.
shoes.
He had his head cut off.
I think it's funny as hell because his eyes get real wide, and then when dude reloads, he's like tries to drop the head fake on him.
Boom! Look at
He's
that.
like, dude, boom! Look at him. He has some really good reflexes.
The problem is that the guy yelled first. You got to throw it first and then yell.
I know. He had fair warning.
So he can look into the shoe. What?
Sure.
Boom.
Allahu Akbar.
Dude,
I don't
just
think he
think of-
screamed. He didn't say Allahu Akbar. He said something
No,
else.
he did not scream. He
No,
just
he said
yelled at him.
Allahu Akbar.
He yelled like you were a pig or you're a dictator.
You're
or
a stupid fuckhead.
something like that.
Yeah. But it would have been super funny
Hillary got shoot too.
if it would have hit him.
The
God, with the hands,
the
really?
SFW
Oh,
porn is way more
I would have got
fun.
her right in the face too.
What's with that that fiend look she's got going on there?
What is this?
The merchant hand position.
I wasn't gonna say that. Yes, but yes. Right
What is
there.
she
What is that all about?
doing?
He's channeling Diane
Running
Feinstein.
away from a shoe. Boom! That if it would have been like one more foot over, it would have got her.
Look, that background looks like that fucking new building in London.
What's with this?
Look at the background, Jerry. It looks like the
do that.
building.
Only witches do that.
How do you know?
I'm kidding.
Maybe like
Look at her.
It looks like
crazy
a
Hillary
decorated
Clinton.
background set.
Cat from behind.
Doesn't that look like that building?
No.
The guy. She told.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? With
No.
the diamonds?
Hey
What
guys,
building?
In
Guys,
London.
It
sorry,
was-
but I have to pull the ripcord. I've got a cat that's decided she's gonna climb
okay,
in.
just
behind
go. It's okay.
All right, bye.
Sorry. Okay, bye.
me. Okay.
So you chased another one off, Diane.
Yep. We'll see you later, guys. Peace out. It was good talking to
Just call me
everybody.
Diane.
Bye.
I was reading it on my screen when I said it. I cannot find that picture.
Another one bites the dust.
We had somebody made like a cruising with turd picture. But ever since someone said throw turds, I've been looking for that damn picture. I cannot find it.
Cruising with turds. What?
It's a long.
I like
There was
it.
a fossilized turd that someone found.
Just show show Grimstick the safe for work porn?
No, I was I was gonna end the show with that tonight.
Okay,
we're
good.
gonna laugh our asses off on that, but I wanted to find that cruising with turd picture first, but I can't find it, so I'll try and find it later.
All right, go find the picture of that new fucking building.
The U.S. Embassy in London.
Yes.
Okay, we'll squeeze that in.
Looks
real
like
quick.
what's behind Hillary.
No, it doesn't. But you'll see. I'm blind.
Are you talking about the Cube building?
No,
It
the
looks
new
more like bamboo. It looks more like bamboo.
Yeah, it looks like a cube.
That's not the right angle. You got to have it going face on.
Isn't that the the embassy building? Yeah.
It's a new embassy.
They don't look like that. This
The way on Sam's video, it totally looked like that.
It's an optical delusion. Here's the foot.
Okay,
Here's
well,
the
I'm
foot.
optically deluged.
Why is there a foot?
Then.
It's a statue.
With a ring in it? What is that?
It's the
I
foot
don't
of
know.
a giant.
And I think these look like bones. These white.
They do look like bones.
man.
Like giant's bones.
These things. And it looks like up close. It looks like bones. From far, it looks like bamboo. This is an odd angle to it. But what's more interesting, you got. I'll link the video that I found this in. Sam Williamson. He's really awesome. He went up and walked around it. It's basically got a moat around it.
Yeah, the moat.
And it's down the block from MI6 headquarters now. So they're moving from this embassy, from the old embassy, which used to be down the street from MI5. And
Because
Sam surmises that there are underground tunnels between the two that allow them to.
No, but what?
What?
What's the address?
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Holy
Sorry.
fuck. So on top of all that, Donald Trump, I don't want to ruin his video. Donald Trump apparently was like, what's the big deal? Why do we have to spend $1 trillion to fucking, it costs like $1 billion to move. And
right.
He's all pissed about it. So anyway, and I will show you the reason why.
I didn't know Trump was mad about it.
He mentioned it and it made news. How's that?
But it's okay to move the embassy and other places.
I want to find the sign. Like,
I would see.
oh, I suppose if I put London on there, it might help. It's 33 9 Elms Lane. It's with the address.
Oh yeah, I remember you posting that. The 33s.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, and it has that weird eagle thing on the top.
33 9 Elms
Lane.
Yep. With some weird eagle thing.
It's right here on this corner now. They have not updated street map. But yeah, it's right. It's here. The sign's gone. They tore it down. Sam's video has a picture of the sign before they tore it down. Anyway, it's interesting.
Is the eagle thing on the old building?
I don't even know.
Yeah, it is. Especially because it's right down from MI6.
Elms 33 9 Elms.
But we know that they're been working together for a long time.
This doesn't look. This is not it. They must have tore this down. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at. This is from June of 2017. Anyway, it's a creepy building. It's a cube. It's a cube. That's all you need to know.
Isn't that kind of a miracle that we can just like say, hey, what's this? And just put yourself on a street corner and be able to virtually look through it?
I don't think it just makes it harder to believe it's real. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's very awesome. It's
awesome. I love it.
We live in amazing times. And if I didn't have such trepidation with the new tech that's coming out, it would be really fantastic to open up and accept like an android with artificial intelligence into my life. I'm serious. I'm being completely serious.
I'm just looking at the chick that's...
I know. So the other night we found this genre of not porn, called Safe for Work porn, SFW porn, where people have drawn scenes over pornography to make it safe for work. And I just wanted to share some of the better
It's a
ones.
beautiful thing.
The ones that make Leonidas laugh the hardest, those are the good ones. Just wait till I get to the guy with the
Wait till he
nunchucks.
snorts.
Wait till I get
Well,
to-
no, it's really good.
I'm not gonna snort.
Stop, thief.
Unless you find something new that I haven't seen before. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, he didn't get a snort. See, we've looked
No,
at
because
these.
you've seen it 3 times now.
We've looked at these so many times.
You gotta find something new.
This one, the life-saving antics of 3 old men, is pretty funny.
Hey, you remember what that's from, right, Grim? I know you do.
What? The last family reunion?
Yeah, what this?
No, Grim, you're a Counter-Strike player. I know you've seen this before.
It's Grandpa's party.
These 3 dudes?
Yeah.
No, man, I never saw that.
What?
I've never seen that.
Bullshit. You lying sack of shit.
I swear to God, I've never seen that.
Lemonparty.org? Come on.
Oh, no, I never went to Lemon Party. After I got tricked with Goatsy, I just stopped clicking links. And Tub Girl got me too. Just getting her hair done, getting ready for the big day.
Yeah, it's all. Wait, no. Go to the Mario.
Oh, man, I can just get ice cream. Smoking the peace pipe. Playing with their cat.
I just saw those Mario people were eating mushrooms.
Eat this mushroom. Eat it.
It's a magic mushroom.
Will be.
Does it make her grow? Look at the spider web.
Oh man. Oh shit. Gotta make sure everyone in chat is okay with this. Well, I don't really care.
It's super gross.
It's funny, huh? Okay, yeah. People think it's hilarious.
Ooh.
Oh, that's porn.
Yeah,
Sorry about
they're
that.
gonna think it's funny.
Mr. Owl likes it. It's all bad. Oh God.
Mr. Owl needs to take responsibility for his own actions.
Oh, look at the hamster.
And not blame other things.
Oh, the hamster's just thirsty.
Like gargoyle creatures. That's all you, dude. You gotta forgive yourself.
Oh, shit.
I don't even know what I'm looking at there.
Well, okay, neither do I.
This one, though, is...
I have no idea. That's really gross.
Holy shit.
Oh, shit.
It's not good.
For $1.
Ouija. Man.
I don't even get this stuff.
Bitch took the last ice cream.
She's eating an ice cream cone.
Is this a guy thing?
Smoking a pipe.
We're laughing at the creativity.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
Sure you are.
What's going on?
Oh, shit.
She's slobbering all over it. How disgraceful.
Oh.
All right, enough. All right, good laughs. Oh,
Yeah, that's great.
that's a perfect way to say goodnight.
Mm-hmm.
With laughs and love. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Owl, I do not think I've been abducted by aliens.
That's not in Dr. Seuss.
But no, I think it's like no. I'm
No, sir. You, sir.
so I was
if you
saying
choose to.
stuff to Mr. Owl.
I know.
I was answering his chats.
Wrap it up.
I feel like people, like the devil represents. You know, oh well, the devil made me do it. No,
my,
dude,
my mama
you
says
did
girls
it
are the devil.
yourself.
My mama said. My mama said.
Okay, so we create these things to blame our actions on other things, right? But if so, who's responsible? Well, no, the devil made me do that. It was the devil. No, fucker, it was you. You need to take responsibility for this shit. It wasn't the devil.
So
it
you're
wasn't
saying I'm the
your
devil?
parents.
You're the devil.
No, I'm not. I'm using. It's just a
What? No, I mean,
term.
actually, my nickname in high school was Satan. By the way.
Oh well, no wonder you and Jerry Cook.
Well, I'm goody two shoes. Don't do anything. Honest.
Yeah, so you're basically referring to the devil within us, right?
No, because I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in. I mean, I believe if there's a good and a dark, or a good and a bad, or a light. I mean, there's the yin and the
That's
yang,
the devil's
right?
greatest trick, is to make us think he doesn't exist.
Well,
Yeah.
that could be.
I mean,
but that could be a
that's
fucking
everything.
saying someone fucking made up too, couldn't it?
You're kind of bringing down this great high we built up with that.
everything gone wrong is
those
the
cartoons.
devil.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I was just trying to answer that. I just think that
Lucifer, the morning
if people
star, son of
started taking
perdition.
responsibility for their own actions
Everyone needs
and
to take
started
responsibility.
apologizing to other people and saying, look, I'm a dick, or, I'm sorry, I
knows
don't know
he's a
what
dick.
happened. No, I'm not talking about him. I'm
Oh,
talking about
okay.
everyone. Like, instead of blaming other things, like, take responsibility.
I blame you for all the wrongs in the world.
I know.
Nephilim.
Everything that happened wrong is my fault.
Well, it's your bloodline's fault.
I know.
Well, that's right. You're a giant.
More fallen angels. The Nephilim.
Definitely.
You're a giant.
I'm a giant who's shrinking. Oh my god.
You and Failed.
Field's a
I
giant.
did have giants though. My kids are all
Failed
giants.
is a baby hill giant.
He is a baby hill giant. Oh my god, I love Failed.
We
I hope they're having fun.
Yep.
I can't believe you say he's 6'5". I don't believe that.
6'6".
He's 6'4" something. He is. Look at the pictures. He towers over everyone.
Tower of power. Okay.
Wow.